Well, with that, we welcome you in, folks. Again, it is actually your CVC game of the week, and it's on a Saturday. That's right. Now, believe it or not, weather and Mother Nature and whole pushing us back a day or so here. Anthony Alford with me, of course, Kyle Cornell with you on the broadcast today as we take a look at Hawken versus Trinity in Week 2 action here in the CVC, the Chagrin Valley Conference. I welcome you to beautiful Hawken in Gates Mills, Ohio. At AA, and it's a matchup between two teams. We mentioned in the pregame a little bit here that know each other fairly well, not in the same division inside the CVC, but they seem to play each other every year. Coaches know each other really well, and two teams that kind of have the same blueprint for success.
Yeah, and welcome on in. Saturday afternoon football here. They both like to run the football. The first thing that stood out when we went out to the field, linemen are pretty big.
Yeah.
The linemen are pretty big, particularly on the Hawkins side of things. Both these teams know each other very well. Both these coaches know each other for a long, long time. And this should be, with both of these teams coming off of W's in Week 1, they waited an extra, 15 hours to play this one, but 16, 17 hours, but here we go. They're ready to go.
You mentioned last week for both teams, Trinity, the visiting team, coming in 1-0, of course. 38-6 win over Ashtabula St. John. A solid win for them in Week 1. On the other side, Hawken, 49-7 over Rhodes last week. A big win, and only points coming off of a pick six, believe it or not. So the defense, solid for both teams. Both coaches saying that's where we think the emphasis is going to be, obviously, AA. Their defenses are both pretty strong. The lines are both strong, too. It'll be fun to watch that matchup today.
Yeah, we cannot wait to see how these teams are going to adjust. You know, sometimes when you are facing a mirror image of each other, you always want to see, wait a minute, this is how we attack each other in practice. But now we get to actually see what's going on and how they're going to go about this. And we're ready to go. I'll say this, though. A little bit of a breeze, not as much as Week 1.
No.
But you still got something there.
It definitely is. Trinity ready to kick it away. That's the kicker, Jonathan Rosa. He'll boot it away. Trinity in the whites, Hawken in the red as run away for CVC TV. The ball bobbled at first and taken up the middle of the field, breaking back inside down near the 40-yard line. Jordan Johnson, going to hear his name a lot tonight, AA.
Yeah, you're going to hear him a lot. One of the CVC players of the week from Week 1, and he's going to be somebody who we're going to watch throughout the night. And we'll see how Trinity is going to be able to defend him and Mangini on the field.
Yep, so that leads us to talk about the quarterback in for the Hawken Hawks right now. Number 12, Donovan Moorhead, taking the snaps here in Week 2. And it is 1st and 10, ball on their own 40-yard line for the home Hawken Hawks. Moorhead in the shotgun, turns, he'll hand right side, it's to Johnson. Johnson breaks left, he's got room to run, cuts back up the middle. He's got room, taking the 10, down to the 40-yard line and pushed out of bounds at around the 30. They're going to give him just inside the 40-yard line. Solid run for Jordan Johnson.
And he is off to the races. These type of games is tough for defenses because you got to be ready to go right off rip. And if you don't set your feet, a talented young man like Josh, he's gonna get you on skates.
Definitely. Number 7 for Trinity, Theo Jackson on the tackle. They're going to hear his name a lot for Trinity today as well. 1st and 10 now on the other 40, flipping the field literally for Hawken as the Hawks have the possession. Get some good field position. Throw left-sided is caught. Solid gain of about 6. And that was Ryan Winning with the catch.
And it's a good opportunity here for Moorhead, the quarterback, number 12, to see, again, taking command of the pocket, making quick decisions, throwing the football. Solid technique there on the last play.
Like to see some good momentum, obviously, in that first drive. 2nd and 5 now left from the 35-yard line of Trinity. Going to be running up the middle left side, pushing through and near the first down. Going to hear that name a lot today as well for the Hawken Hawks. Mangini, no surprise.
And the crazy thing is, Kyle, you got Johnson coming off the edge, so you got to account for the sweep, and then oh no, it's not the sweep, it's Mangini up the gut there. Good 1-2 punch.
Definitely. Mangini coming off about 90 yards and a touchdown last week on the ground. His counterpart, we talked about Jordan Johnson earlier, he had 155 yards and a pair of scores last week, both playing extremely well in that backfield. Third and short. Hand off left side. Johnson breaks left. He's still on his feet and gets the first down and then some. Getting him about 4 and moving the chains for Hawken.
That dude can play. That dude can play. He has moves. He has moves, and he's going there. We're going to see how Trinity is able to adjust defensively to account for Johnson. That's a tough play.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you can definitely see the moves this young man has on the field.
Definitely another level of speed when you see Jordan Johnson with the ball in his hands now. 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line of Trinity. Hawken with the ball. Moorhead looking to pass. Throws. It's caught by Mangini right side. Still on his feet. Mangini breaks inside of 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Hawken. Luke Mangini, 27 yards, and Hawken takes the early 6-0 lead.
Yeah, you'll see here, boy, Mangini is a threat, not just on the ground, but receiving as well. And just, oh my goodness, it's just beautiful. Just beautiful what Mangini is just able to do in the open field. And yeah, good luck trying to stop him in the open field. Just saw there in the replay. Just good luck.
Julian Javoris in for the extra point. He was perfect last week. 7 of 7 in extra point attempts. Just inside 10 minutes to go in the first quarter. Hawken already on the board. Kick is up. This one is right down the middle and good. And with that, 7-0 to score. Hawken on top of Trinity early on in your CVC TV game of the week. Of course, the presenting sponsor for CVC TV is Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Doctors Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Their specialties include dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website. Just head over to www.ohsurgery.com. Of course, thank you for your support for the Chagrin Valley Conference and CVC TV.
Great first drive, obviously, for Hawken. High-powered offense, just like last year. I mean, it's just they go right up and down the field offensively. Their big adjustment is going to be defensively against tougher competition with Trinity this week. But offensively, the 1-2 punch with Johnson, with Mangini, and I'll even credit Moorhead as well, quarterback, just because you got to account for him, too. You got to account for his size, his accuracy. You saw a little bit of that in the first drive. So you take all those things, and this is going to be one heck of an offense here for Hawken.
Yeah, Moorhead can see over those big linemen. He's 6'4", 195, so he's a big kid. He can definitely be able to look over and see what's going on. Great check down to the Mangini on the right. He had pressure coming on his left side and made the right decision, and the right decision turned into 7 points.
Yeah, he absolutely handled his business. We'll see how they're going to look here on kickoff and on defense.
Yep, Javoris going to kick it away for the Hawks. Line drive going into the end zone, out of the back. That's going to be a touchback. That means Trinity's going to take the ball. And from their own 20. So we'll get our first chance to see the star junior quarterback for Trinity, Aiden Duncan, in Double-A. Big week for him last week. Threw the ball for 74 yards, but also had 119 on the ground. He is an athlete if there ever was one.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see him in person. We're about to here in just a few seconds. And again, good luck accounting for him on the field defensively. There's going to be some work here for this Hawks defense.
Yep, so we do have Duncan in the shotgun. To his right hip there, you got Theo Jackson, the running back. Be a quick screen pass out left side. It is caught. Solid gain, and near a first down already was DeMonte McKenzie.
Yeah, McKenzie, one of those stud athletes that they talked about and talked about in media days.
Yeah.
And this is what they're going to do, up-tempo, moving the offense.
If we want to keep it moving, 2nd and 3 from their own 27. Handoff inside. Pushing through, met by Mangini, but able to get close to that first down marker, but maybe just a bit short.
Yeah, Mangini. You're going to hear Mangini's name
brick wall
defensively.
There, yeah.
79 tackles last season for Mangini. I do want to point out on this third down real quick, nice kick-out block by Jeff Moore, number 62. Just watch that on the left side, bottom of your screen.
Yeah, both lines very good at what they do, especially protecting the run. Look at that bunch formation inside. Looks like I formation in. Quick handoff up the middle, pushing forward. Very close, and I believe they may have just got enough.
Yeah,
that was Theo Jackson again. Yep. Theo Jackson just put his head down, 5'11", 180-pound running back, and said, just give me that first. That's all I need is one. He got one.
Yeah, Theo Jackson, 3 touchdowns last week against St. John.
Oh, yeah.
just running the football. I didn't know if that was a clean handoff or not initially, but again, just enough to get the first down.
Good job by Aiden Duncan, number 5, the quarterback, to keep that in his hands. So now we have 1st and 10 from their own 30. Duncan got to keep it out. Option left side. It is a pitch outside, and it looks like McKenzie could go nowhere. Great swarm by the Hawken defense. And on the tackle there for Hawken was number, I believe that's 8. And that, of course, is Nathaniel Whitthorne, who is in there.
Yeah, and you know what? Everybody on defense read their keys. Everybody. And it was all in sync, too. It was an amazing thing to see.
Yeah, Charlie Mallett also in there on the tackle, too, for Hawken, as it's now 2nd and 9 with 7:55 to go in this first quarter. Your CVC TV game of the week. Duncan looks right, throws right. It's caught. And here 3 again. His number's going to be out there, but great swarming defense by the Hawks. And again, McKenzie just had nowhere to go.
And it's like every time defensively, it's just multiple guys to the football. All those pursuit drills that we all know and love. I say that because I threw up on some of those drills.
I believe it. You walk up the stairs up here, throw up for me, bud. I get nervous for you.
Man, you better watch out. But no, like just all those pursuit drills, just going to the football, all loving hats. That shows commitment defensively.
Shows everyone buying in. I think that's AA's mantra for the season, buy in, right? As we see 3rd down and long. Duncan's got to scroll and roll back to his right. He's got some room to run. Duncan turns the corner. He's past the 50, over to the 40, cuts back inside, still on his feet, all the way inside the 30 to the 25-yard line. What a run by Aiden Duncan on what was essentially a broken play AA.
This athlete is incredible. And just for him to be able to break out of it, take a look at it again here. How did he break out of that? It's just incredible. He is an athlete.
53 yards and a 1st down.
Incredible.
Aiden Duncan now in the shotgun. He hands off left side. Jackson has nowhere to go. Spun down for no gain.
Way to be right on it there defensively.
And Aiden Duncan saved him there. It was 3rd and long on that possession. Look like he was trying to roll to his left, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Play broke down, had to go back to his right, stumbled, and just turned the corner.
That's the only thing. If you have an aggressive defense, I don't know if we have.
Oh, substitution.
Yeah. If you have an aggressive defense and a broken play like that, that's the only time it works against you. Because the Hawks did everything right in that play to stop it, but you have that type of athlete like Duncan.
Yeah, you can make up for it. Yeah. 2nd down and 9. Duncan going to look back to left side, throwing again. Again, McKenzie trying to get through, pulling back in the jersey, and Hawken just swarms him again. Not much on that throw and catch.
Yeah, just incredible speed defensively. Now you're going to have a 3rd down. And we're going to see here the down the field action here with Duncan. And the other thing, too, to watch out here, Kyle, possibly a draw play. Maybe. Here on this 3rd down.
Definitely want to get him out of the pocket, move it around so he can make a play with his legs. But obviously we know Duncan can throw the ball, too. To this point, also 3 of 3. He's been able to complete all of his passes.
Absolutely.
So pretty successful drive. Want to keep it going here for Trinity here. 3rd and 9 on the Hawken 29-yard line. 5:30 to go in the first quarter. McKenzie in motion now on the right hip of Duncan. He'll drop back to pass. Looking. Duncan feels pressure. He goes left. Duncan breaks through. He's got room to run. Turns the corner.
Are you kidding?
Duncan inside. He goes to the pylon and it's close, but they're going to say he was pushed out at the 2. Aiden Duncan made it look easy.
And the thing was, the defenders took away the 1st and 2nd option.
Yeah.
Like, he was looking down the field, took those away, and almost scored.
Double A, 2 carries for Aiden Duncan on this drive. He's at 80 yards. And now it's 1st and goal from the 2. Handoff inside, push. Muniz trying to get in, and it looks like he was stopped.
I don't think Kevin Stefanski will be running these plays, which is for the best, because this is what both of these teams are built of. Up front.
Possibly an injury time out there. One of the Hawken Hawks down. The maybe 68, Matthew Yang. So we'll keep an eye on Matthew. Hopefully he's going to be okay, AA. But Aiden Duncan coming to the rescue for this team on this drive. Couple of 3rd and longs. He's been able to use his legs and turn the corner and not just get the 1st down, but get huge plays, both huge chunk runs that now have him on the doorstep of even in this ball game up.
Yeah, and defensively, isn't it frustrating? Because you feel like you've done everything right.
Yeah.
You feel like, like even on the last 3rd and long, both receivers were well covered. Took away the first option at the corner of the end zone, took that away, took away an option up the middle. So you felt like you did everything right. And all of a sudden, we have to account as Yang is able to jog off the field.
Love to see that. I hope he's doing good. Actually rejoined his teammates too in a huddle, so that's good to see for Matthew as well. Okay, Matthew, of course, and 6'3", 265 pounds. Graduated in 2025.
Yeah, we'll talk.
This line is stacked for Hawken. There's everyone on the offense and defensive line. A lot of big young guys there. They're going to make some big-time plays.
So if you're Trinity, offensive line-wise, you got to be lowest to the ground here in this goal line situation.
And Duncan actually going to dive in and try to extend his hands. We're going to see the official word, and they call it touchdown, Trinity. Duncan able to extend just enough to get the ball over the pylon, and just like that, we're an extra point away from a tie ball game here at Hawken. Missed a attempted 2-point conversion that maybe the plan, maybe not, maybe a high snap made Aiden Duncan have to do a little bit of soul searching for that one.
And it almost worked. That's the crazy thing. Like, it almost
ended by scrambling, almost completed the pass, and almost turned the corner and got in. But unfortunately for Trinity there, Jonathan Rosa, the kicker, couldn't just turn and get inside. So instead now we have Hawken with 2nd and 10 on their own 46-yard line after a solid return from Johnson, and he'll now get the carry up the middle. Johnson breaking back inside. And Jordan Johnson getting about a solid 6 to 7 yards. That'll bring us to 3rd and manageable for the Hawks.
Yeah, you notice now here Trinity trying to create more pressure up the middle, try to beat the Hawks to the punch.
Yep, so rolling right side. Johnson pushing, and he's close, but is going to be just short of a first down. Actually, maybe a yard or two on that for Johnson.
Yeah, a good stop there.
And Sabron
There by Price.
Yeah, even the senior, one of those guys. Not very many of those on Trinity's roster, only 5 this year, but he is one of them. There's a good reason why. And now we're going to see a 4th down and about 4 or so yards to go. And looks like Hawken not going to take any punting duties here. They're going to go for this one, AA.
Yeah, right in midfield here. See kind of how it plays out.
4th and 4. Moorhead in the pistol. And there was movement. It looks like maybe on the offense. It's going to be a false start, 5 yards back. And does that change Coach John Marino's decision here?
Yeah, it looks like it does. It looks like now you're going to get that. It was worth trying. It was worth, it was a 4th and 4 situation. Couldn't go wrong. You obviously don't want to, do that. The other possible thing, too, is you didn't have much room with the punting. So if you did false start, a lot of potential outcomes from that.
All right, so now instead we're going to see Javoris in the far backfield. He'll punt it away to Trinity. Plenty of time. The ball's straight up, coming down and out of bounds. I want to say around the 30 or so yard line. We'll see where they actually marked this. And wow, they're going to walk it back here. It's the official spot. Looked like it started tailing out around the 30. And right there, how about that?
Right on it there, Kyle.
I'm going to the casino tonight, folks. You know what it is.
Right on it.
So here we go. It's going to be 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line for Trinity. AA building off a solid drive. Last possession for the Trojans here. And really, it was Aiden Duncan. The Aiden Duncan show.
Yeah, Aiden Duncan converting 2 3rd and longs off of the work of his legs.
Yeah.
See, defensively, maybe somebody might spy Duncan perhaps on this drive.
Definitely one of those things. That a timeout going to be called. Didn't like what they saw. Hawken going to call that one. I believe that is their first official.
He might have to look back. He might have been short of a player.
That could be it as well. Obviously, you want to make sure you have equal numbers out there, especially if you have Aiden Duncan maybe running the ball.
We was talking about like how do you,
set,
you don't want Duncan to run the football. You want an even number out there, if that's the case.
So some adversity, which both these teams really in that first week AA didn't see much of it. 2 dominating wins, 49-7, 38-6 on both sides of it. Interesting to see how the teams handle it. They're both very well coached, too, so it's kind of a give and take on that when you talk about how Hawken responds to having a situation where they went 3 and out.
Yeah, both very well coached. Obviously, both went through adversity, even here locally, and we hope everyone's okay from all the storms over the last few days. But both of these teams, both playoff teams as well, so getting that test and, seeing those adjustments be made, because it's not going to be just as easy as just go down the field and score. How are you going to make that stop defensively? Now, if there is no stops, then that 7-6 score might be a 42-41 score by the end of the game.
Interesting setup of a line to the left side, maybe a screen pass, but it sends a throw down the middle of the field, and it's caught! It's caught by 32. That is Xavier Pearson, who's expected to make plays on the defensive end. How about the offensive side?
The junior receiver able to make things happen. You pointed out right away, Kyle, the unique formation. Duncan getting it up top and moving down the field, Trinity.
38 yards on the toss and catch right down the middle of the field in the seam. Duncan already under in the shotgun looking to move the ball. You mentioned quick offense. And Jackson inside. He'll move. Big hit and tackle by 11 for Hawken. That was Kenny Obi with the tackle.
Yeah, just incredible response. Look a little bit, miscommunication. Sometimes with those big plays, you're so excited about the big play. In their kids, it's going to happen. But it's like, okay, now we got to think about the next play. And it looked like it might have been a little miscommunication on the Trinity side of things. And communication getting the next play off.
And you want to try and maybe catch them sleeping again. If you can get them one time, maybe we try it once again. But now instead, 2nd and 9 from the 27 of Hawken. Aiden Duncan's been a big play factory all so far in this first quarter. And they're trying to whistle a false start. I think it is going to be on Trinity up, so 5 yards back. So now it's going to be 2nd and long on the other side of the 30 for the Trojans. First penalty of the game for Trinity.
It's those mental games. I do like how I was pointing out, like, no, the defender jumps. He jumps. You're going to make your case.
But yeah.
Might as well make your case.
So now it's going to be 2nd and 14 as we had about 2 minutes to go in this first quarter in your CVC TV game of the week on this beautiful Saturday afternoon in Gates Mills, Ohio. Again, Duncan in the shotgun, looking left, throwing right side. It is caught. Again, Pearson again, moving forward, solid gain. Getting those yards back and then some, down to the roughly 25-yard line. So solid 9-yard gain.
Yeah, good response there for Trinity. And we're going to see here, obviously now a familiar 3rd and decently long here, 3rd and 6.
Actually, it's a little bit shorter than the last two where Duncan's made those big runs. So maybe he's thinking it's a little less pressure.
Yeah,
at
what
this
is it?
point.
What was it? What,
3rd and 9 and 3rd and 10?
Yeah.
I think, yeah. And actually, it looks like Trinity's going to take some time to think about it. So they're going to take their first time out of the first half here. 1:21 to go in your CVC TV game of the week. And the score 7-6. Hawken on top, holding on to a 1-point lead. But Trinity again driving AA to this point in the first quarter. Aiden Duncan for the Trojans, 5 for 5, 56 yards, throwing the ball, 3 carries, 81 yards, and a rushing touchdown. He has been everywhere.
Yeah, I like what I see from Duncan so far. Theo Jackson in there as well. I like the timeout there that was just called there for Trinity because even after the big play, it didn't seem like they were on the same page offensively. So after you see a couple plays, hey, let's call a timeout, let's get settled in, and come up with a plan for this 3rd down, critical 3rd down. Obviously for both teams, but for Trinity to see what they could do.
Now, to be fair, both teams do have very good kickers. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Now, obviously,
we didn't see
that
every game.
Yeah, we didn't see a kick, obviously, in that first extra point try. The snap was a little high, and Duncan obviously improvised. Now, you're kind of maybe on the bridge because it is beautiful conditions today as opposed to yesterday, but today with the possible field goal opportunity.
Yeah,
if you get a little bit closer, yeah.
Right on the 25 right now.
Probably right on the brink there as Duncan is in shotgun, looking right, throwing right. It is caught, and not much anywhere to go there. Down to the 20. It's going to be a 4th and short for the Trojans. That was 13 for Trinity. Darian Smith on the catch, tight end.
But here's the talk about, like, what's the good protocol to go for the field goal. At this point, not right now.
Well, 4th and 2 with 50 seconds to go in the first quarter. You're on the other team's 20-yard line.
This game has a feel, though, Kyle.
And
like
you
need
5.
to chase points.
You got 5 in the backfield for you. I feel pretty confident about getting 2 yards. So Duncan going to roll to the right side. He's actually going to keep it himself. Cut back. Still on his feet. Duncan breaks through, and he is going to be.
They're going to move the chains,
Yep,
Kyle.
They're going to say he got it. Just enough. Yep, Aiden Duncan's going to move the chains. How about that?
Just barely.
He needed 2.
Just barely, man.
He got 2 by one of the hairs on my chin, AA. A really impressive run by Duncan, and he'll move the chains and keep the drive alive for the Trojans.
And the thing is, we talked about so far, the problem's not the first option. Defensively, Hawkins taking away the first option.
And Duncan's been so elusive, and he's going to keep the ball again, run up the middle into a sea of white and red jerseys. He's going to get a handful of yards, and with that, I believe that's going to wrap up the first quarter of play here from, again, Walton Stadium and beautiful Hawken School. And the score, 7-6. The Hawken Hawks on top of the Trinity Trojans here in your CVC TV game of the week, but Trinity threatening on the Hawken 17-yard line.
Yeah, and I feel like this is a track meet almost. It's this turf only a couple years old. It's fresh. Got a new track that they're going to finish up here in a couple weeks. But a phenomenal matchup. But it's one of those matchups, if you are Trinity, you feel like, all right, you got to come away with a touchdown. I think that's why you go for it. You went for it there. You got to come away because you're going to be chasing points.
Well, you know who you're dealing with as well. Hawken has that high-powered offense. Moorhead can throw the ball and run it as well. You have Johnson. You have Mangini, who's a bull in there. He's able to run people over and make plays offensively and defensively. So touchdowns are going to matter in this game, and as good as the kicking is for both of these teams, if you're close and you have an opportunity, and especially if the player that you have is really going like Duncan has been, for Trinity. Why not go for it on that 4th and short? Why not put the ball in his hands and see if he can make a play or two and give you a chance to get some more points instead of just 3?
I think both of these coaches were concerned coming into this game with the time change, with the day change and the time change. From yesterday, this game was supposed to kick off normal 7 o'clock Friday night. Are these guys going to be awake? I'm serious. Are they?
We talked to Coach McSweeney before the game. He said some players came stumbling in, and he said, "I don't blame them. It was early, but technically they wake up for school at 8. They had to get to school by 10.
Yeah, but
sleep a little longer, but still.
But as you know, it's different between it's Monday through Friday. I have to be in the class in first period by 8 o'clock. You don't go to first period on Saturday. You just don't. It's different. It's a different routine, different thing. So. But I'll tell you what, after the first, both of these teams are awake, and they're
both
ready
look
to
sharp.
go.
Yeah, they really do. Is now at 2nd and 8 on the Hawken, now 14-yard line. As Duncan takes snap, throws right. It's tipped and almost intercepted. Mangini was there, the linebacker, and that ball was a little bit higher. He may have been going the other way with it.
Yeah, and a good tip there.
Rare appearance of the Vuvuzela, too.
I'll tell you,
you
want to know who else showed up? This crowd. They're all locked in. Ready to go, and you better hope I don't get one of those items.
Looking at 3rd and long, familiar territory for the Trojans in this first half. 3rd and 8 from the Hawken 14-yard line. And Jackson on his right hip. McKenzie in motion now on his left. Duncan in the shotgun. He'll put McKenzie in motion to the right side. Looking. Going to hand Jackson middle. Not much. If that, maybe a couple yards. And that's going to be a 4th and medium, and we're going to see what happens here. Yeah,
looks like you might get the field goal unit right here, Kyle, on this 4th down. Good reading up front there by the linebackers for the Hawks, and identifying who's going to get the football, not biting.
Yeah. So going to place the ball down at about the 20-yard line, AA. This will be roughly a 30 or so yard field goal on the left hash for the lefty. Jonathan Rosa, the sophomore kicker. Snap down, hold, kick is up. It is no good. Had the distance, but just could not turn it into the upright. And Hawken with a great stop on defense, forcing the field goal. And, of course, the announcer, Jink, comes back to bite us again, man. Both kickers usually pretty good, but unfortunately just can't put it through as Rosa.
That's that. You identify those stats.
He was on fire. Both kickers were so far this season.
Good pressure on the outside, which probably affected the hold. Tommy Wright, he was there as well. All those things. In order to get a successful field goal kick, everything has to work out. And if you get a good rush on the outside, you're not going to get a clean hold, and you didn't get a clean kick.
So now will Hawkins' offense respond as the Hawks had the ball in their own 13, 1st and 10, 11 minutes to go in this first half as Johnson breaks outside, tries to cut back in. Ball is out, but it's going to roll out of bounds. And Trinity almost had it back, but looks like Pearson just couldn't get there in time to secure it, so it's going to stay Hawks football after a solid game from Johnson. Close call there for the Hawks AA.
Yeah, and Johnson knows he like to have that one back. Sometimes you think even in those moments, how do I allow myself for that to happen? You kind of think about that. But here's the thing. Got to move on to the next play.
Yeah, Johnson was working through 2 tackles, and the third man came, which was Pearson, and just laid the boom on him and couldn't hold on to that ball. But like we said, luckily the ball rolls out of bounds, and Hawken keeps possession. So it's now going to be 2nd and 8 from their own 20. Actually, no, it's going to be about the 15-yard line, I want to say. Again, Moorhead going to hand left side. Jackson trying to work his way through, and he's going to go down after a gain of only a few more yards again. Maybe give him 2 more.
So remember the first drive of this game where Johnson was able, those cuts?
Yeah.
This defense is now awake for Trinity. And from a linebacker standpoint, they're reading their keys too. So they're getting to the line of scrimmage. They're getting to their spots. Yeah, way quicker in this drive than they did in the first drive.
Big opportunity for Trinity's defense here to hold the Hawken offense as Johnson goes in motion. Moorhead looking over, throws it and caught. And breaking back left side, big tackle, but enough for a first down. Hawken going to move the chains. Great catch there. Again by Tommy Wright. The 5'9" wide out, and he moves the chains.
Yeah, good find inside there. Good there by Moorhead. And that was at the right stumble.
And brought to the left side, quick throw, catch, caught. And that being Ryan Wedding with the catch. And there is a player down for Trinity now, and his helmet's off. Yeah, can't see a number for you, and it looks like it may be Pearson, number 32. We talked to Coach McSweeney about him before the game. Expected to make an impact. He has the receiving game too to this point. AA hoping that again our the young man Dylan, I should say.
Pearson.
Yeah, Pearson is going to be okay. Obviously Xavier Pearson for the Trojans, and Hawken and Moorhead coming up big now. We talked about kind of him stepping up into this role in this offense this year, and Donovan Moorhead with a couple big completions on this drive. AA starting to get more in a rhythm now.
Yeah, and he's somebody that this team's going to need these next few weeks here. So it's good to see confidence from that standpoint. And for Hawken, if you're thinking here, okay, you're able to run the football, you have the 1-2 punch, no problem. Now all of a sudden, early here in the season, if you could add the passing component into the game, oh, you got something.
Yeah, both teams not really throwing the ball very much last week. Moorhead only throwing the ball a handful of times under double digits, and obviously Aiden Duncan only throwing the ball 6 times. As Pearson gets up and jogs off the field, good to see that. Hopefully he's okay, and body looks good, everything looks good, so glad to see that.
And Kyle, sometimes even in like blowout situations, you simply don't have an opportunity to really work on those things. Sometimes those, working on passing, that's reserved for practice. And because other things are in play here. If you go out there, you have a big lead, and you say, "Oh, I'm working on the passing game," you might be, accused of something else, and you don't want to. So this is where you want to see that activity develop.
Moorhead's so good so far as he's in the shotgun, rolling left, backpedaling, looking for a screen. It's caught. It's Johnson, but he's met and pushed out of bounds. Give him about a handful of yards, maybe 2 to 3 yards on the catch and run.
Yeah, good coverage up front.
There is a flag, it looks like. Possibly in the area of hold. Waiting to see if they're going to wave it off.
I think they're
going to pick it up, double A. So there you go. So no flag.
I want to point out, because the game is happening today, right now, there are members of over on the other end of the stadium, well, this end of the stadium, Gilmore, a couple of Gilmore players are here in attendance.
A little scouting.
Gilmore and Hawken, they're going to face off next week.
Yeah. Only 2 familiar opponents for this Hawken team were Trinity and Gilmore. Everyone else new this season, so it's definitely baptism by fire in essence for the Hawks. As we're at hands up the middle, and it's Mangini still pushing forward, and he's going to get that first down. Luke Mangini doing what he does best, putting that head down and moving the chains.
He's just working hard.
And actually, that was not Mangini. But that was actually Paxton Lassinger with the carry, I want to say.
Yeah, and he's another weapon, in there that you're going to see. He was actually part of the CVC TV media days a few weeks back.
And Johnson carry gets through one tackle, and he has some room to run. Johnson moving up the middle, still on his feet, stays on, spins down, and a huge first down run for Jordan Johnson.
Offensive line created the gaps. Doing well up front, created those gaps, and just staying balanced. That's the one thing that stands out here with this young man. He is able to stay level, to stay balanced, even with all the movements and stuff. He is level. That's why he doesn't go down.
And Johnson eclipsing 50 yards on the day with that carry. It's now 1st and 10 from the other side of the field, 44-yard line throw. It's caught. Great throw and a breakthrough. All the way to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Hawken. Charlie Mallet turns the corner on the screen and makes them pay. 44 yards for the Hawks.
The freshman receiver getting the job done, finding the open gap there, Moorhead, and I'll tell you what, quarterbacks growing up in front of our eyes, and the receivers growing up right in front of our eyes. The second-level speed, incredible.
Yeah, Donovan Moore, I should say, on the day right now, 6 of 7. He's actually at 99 yards and 2 passing touchdowns. So showing the ability through the air as Hawken calls another timeout here.
Yeah, might have a equipment issue. And that's the only thing, with the roster size. Like, if one person's out, you're going to have to burn some timeouts just due to roster size, things like that.
Yeah.
But an incredible score. An incredible score. And a nice drive, really nice drive. And just finding the second and third option. And obviously Trinity has to respect the run because of the effectiveness of Johnson. You got Mangini out there as well. So, you got to respect the run. And then also Moorhead is throwing underneath and finding his first and second and third options. It's a complete offense.
And it's something that Coach McSweeney for Trinity doesn't want to do too much of today is play too far from behind, and you don't want to see a lot of separation there, but the way Hawken drove that ball in that possession double-A, running plenty of times and actually making some plays in the pass game too. Great balance from the Hawks as they move down the field, and 2 big passing touchdowns from Donovan Moorhead have put this team up big here. One to Mangini, of course, we just mentioned. One to Charlie Mallett, who is coming in and getting some good time in that receiving corps. A great route to a comeback up the middle of the field and just had some space to turn up the seam there and make the big play.
Yeah, for Mallett, his second touchdown of the season. Had a touchdown last week.
Yeah. Seeing some time, a lot of different players making plays for the Hawken Hawks as Javoris is back in for the extra point attempt. Try to make it an 8-point game. Holds good. Kicks up on the way, and it is good. So with that, the score balloons to 14-6. The Hawken Hawks on top of the visiting Trinity Trojans here. I want to remind you today that our scoreboard sponsor is Independence Business Supply, an Ohio-owned and operated company with full-service facilities in Cleveland, Ohio, of course, capable of shipping supplies anywhere in the United States. IBS is a business products dealer providing you with single source of office products, facility and breakdown supplies, printing, promotional products, and furniture. You can visit orderibs.com to learn more about our amazing products and amazing customer service. So the ball back in Trinity's court here, AA, to try and respond. Kind of similar to that first drive of the game where Hawken was able to move down, make a big play, and score. Can Trinity answer and do the same themselves again?
And this is where they're going to have to grow up. We expect this game to be perhaps high scoring. We expect this game to be that track meet that you kind of saw, in the first quarter. And we're seeing it here so far in the second quarter. Trinity's going to have to respond. They don't have a choice. They're going to have to. But they're capable of doing so, obviously off the legs of Aiden Duncan. They are obviously capable of doing so.
Again, last year the score 35-0. Hawken took care of Trinity relatively easily. Not expecting it to be the case today. Both teams obviously more evenly matched, and Trinity obviously a year older. Aiden Duncan 2 years now in the system at Trinity, and it shows. It's a short line drive kick. Trinity just going to fall on it and
smart play.
Yeah, take the ball from the 30.
Yeah, smart play there by Smith. There's no win in picking up the football when you got a bunch, everyone from the kickoff team screaming right at you.
Yeah, last thing you need is that ball to take a late bounce by accident, and all of a sudden you try to pick it up and you don't get it. So smart move.
You don't know what this turf will do. You don't know what the turf will do, and with the weather over the last few days with a lot of rain, you don't know what's going to happen there. So smart on Smith to fall on it.
I'm going to tell you what's about to happen.
Oh, what's about to happen, Kyle?
1st and 10.
Oh, let's go.
From the 31-yard line for the Trojans.
1st and 10.
8:48 to go in this first half as Trinity looks to respond after another Hawken touchdown, an extra point through. Duncan in the shotgun. He's going to roll out to his left. Now settle. Going to dump it off. It's going to be a screen. The ball's hit. Incomplete. Solid defense there by Hawken. Read it all the way through.
Yeah, and when you're setting up that screen there, you do not want that football to sail in the air because one or two things is going to happen. We saw one of them. McKenzie, you're going to put him, number 3, in a bad position because he's going to get hit. And he did there by Mangini. The other thing would have been a pick 6. You do not – those screenplays are very hard to execute. They work well, but they're hard to execute. You cannot hang those balls in the air.
Again, yeah, that was 3 red jerseys on 1 man in McKenzie there, so not an ideal situation. As Duncan's going to throw again, he's going to roll out to his left, turning with his legs, throwing, lobbing, it is caught.
Great catch.
Yeah, Lance Hudson, the sophomore, with a big catch for Trinity, keeping this drive alive and moving the chains for a first down.
Yeah, Ada Duncan in the CVC Media Days, he mentioned some of the players you kind of expect to be, breakouts. Lance Hudson, number 2, is one of those guys on the receiving end.
Solid play there. Is now going to be a run on the left side and nothing going. Jackson just cannot find a hole in this first half. He's got 6 carries, but he's only got 7 yards.
Yeah, Yang was right there, number 68, to make the play defensively. And he wasn't the only one. He's going to get credit for the tackle. But you have multiple defenders for the Hawks every time. But back to the passing completion a couple plays ago, good one-on-one matchup, good by Duncan to recognize the matchup there with Hudson, and a good ball thrown.
Yeah, had to put some touch on it, too, because of the spot. And again, Hudson was able to adjust and make the play as Duncan's in the shotgun, hands off. Jackson again with the carry. And he'll get maybe a yard or 2 on that. It's some tough sledding for, again, Theo Jackson today, just 7 carries for 9 yards, and it's going to be another 3rd and long for this Trinity offense.
Yeah, and one of the players we've been seeing a lot defensively, Ballard, number 72, and he has been able to establish his presence on the defensive line in multiple plays here this afternoon.
Defensive tackle, senior, one of the guys on the team that Coach Marino's been talking about to be able to make plays. Is now it's, again, 3rd and long, 7 minutes to go in this first half. Ball on midfield for Trinity. Duncan looking, going to throw it up in the air. Going to have to come back as Pearson pushed and waiting for the flag, and there it is.
Yeah.
And it looks like that's going to be a plus play for Trinity, and just maybe some contact. Maybe it wasn't intentional. We're going to talk about it, but they're going to call it, and I believe that's going to be obviously on Hawken.
I think they saw a little inside push.
Yeah, Wedding on the
inside. That ball
inside.
was in the air.
Yeah, that was Ryan Wedding that just got caught up in the moment there with the ball being thrown up. And Coach unhappy about that. Duncan threw up a jump ball. Pearson was there. He's got 2 catches on the day, does Pearson, and looking for a 3rd, just couldn't make it because of the push. And now Trinity's going to move all the way up.
Those jump balls, they're dangerous, man. They are dangerous. That ball hangs up in the air like that. Defensively, you got to be in the right spot. You got to do the right things. Go from there.
And again, trying to determine if it's a spot foul or whether they're going to actually move this ball. They need a ball to get it through, and Trinity trying to get in a huddle and talk about this, and they're going to move it back.
Yeah,
looks like possible here.
I think I was going to say, they're taking the football home.
Referee is going to leave the field with the ball now.
They're taking the ball home.
Yeah, so the spot of the foul is actually going to be the 34 here. That's where we're going to move the ball. So a 15-yard penalty, just moving the chains. No spot foul, just 15 yards.
Yeah, this is the NFL would have been a spot.
Yeah, a little different in high school, just a little bit. Yeah.
Just throw it to the end zone.
And it looks like be a little bit of a penalty there, a false start. That was Dale Jackson just taking a step forward, and so 5 yards back. So essentially, the penalty is now only a 10-yard penalty for Hawken.
Yeah, after all that, I mean, just but for Trinity, the play itself to set that up, we know how much of a threat Duncan is on the ground. He's starting to establish himself in the air here.
Yeah. Actually has ran the ball in some time. Duncan's been throwing it more here as we see him pass the ball, and it is caught. Solid play to the 13 up the middle, and that is Darian Smith, and he gets some yards back there and then some.
Yeah, we've been mentioning Darian Smith's name a little bit here in this game, and he's that diamond in the rough tight end, freshman tight end. He's going to be part of this program's future for a long time.
Gain of 9, so it's going to be now 2nd and 5 for Trinity. Aiden Duncan, 8 of 10 for 88 yards today through the air. And make it 9 of 11. Spin inside. McKenzie still spinning like a spin cycle. It's a washing machine on the field. He gets near the first down marker.
Good play there with McKenzie. Duncan able to get that ball out. When they watch this film, one of the things Duncan's going to see there, maybe it's just touch, right? It's just touch with the football. You don't want to, like, zip it, because if you zip it, you don't get any hang time, and it might be a pick six the other way. But just recognizing, and it comes with experience, recognizing that touch.
That's what it does.
This formation here.
Now everyone moving back up. And moving to the right. Duncan's going to keep it. He's going to roll to the right. He's going to keep going. He's got a corner. Duncan turns that corner and gets inside the 20. Looks like a flag came in late. That's in the area of holding AA. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, and you're running a package like that, you got to make sure everybody's set. You got to make sure things are in operation. And you don't have that much time either where you line up to identify who you're going to block.
Yep. So went from unfamiliar territory to 3rd and short to now familiar territory again for this Trinity offense. It's going to be 3rd and long. Now 3rd and about 12 from the Hawken 38-yard line.
So you're saying now Duncan's within range now?
Now he's in
his range.
Now he's within range. There you go.
Giving up a 3rd and 9 and 3rd and 11 earlier in the game.
Yeah, big plays. Then we had the penalty before that kept the drive alive for Trinity. So now the Trojans are going to try and find some more magic here. 5:20 to go in this first half, trailing by 8. Duncan looking, throwing. It's caught. Solid play by McKenzie, but just can't get it all back. He gets really 6 or 7 yards, but that's only going to cut the down to distance in half for this Trinity team. And now you get asked, do you go for it here?
Yeah, good open field tackle there for Mallet. And that's how you make the stop. If he does not make that play, that's probably a first down and maybe more.
DeMonte McKenzie has that speed and the ability to make people miss. And solid tackling by Hawken to end that play before it really got started. So now it's 4th and 7.
I think right now, Kyle, Trinity, you probably got to spread them out. You know, spread them out, see what's available. And knowing that Duncan is a threat.
We'll see what he does. Duncan in the shotgun. He's going to get brought down and sacked. Huge sack there. Guess who?
An incredible play.
Who else but Mangini? Who else? Luke Mangini just right up the middle. Duncan had no time, big sack, and Hawken takes back over.
Can't you tell Mangini last year, 4.1 GPA, smart young man, coming from a football family, and just able to identify, and everyone on defense identified what was there, made the play, and they said, hey, you're going to beat us over the top, but you're not going to run the football to beat us on that 4th down.
No, Duncan didn't even have time to make a decision, AA. He got hit almost pretty much immediately when he took that ball in that shotgun. As now Hawken takes over on their own 39, 1st and 10, 4:23 to go in the first half, trying to build that lead. On the flat side, solid tackle there from Trinity before that play got out of hand. And that was Paxton Lassinger with the carry.
Yeah, McKenzie making the play. It's something we talk about every week. You know, things don't work out offensively for you. Oh well, you got to go right back out there defensively.
It's a good thing to have, though, honestly. Yeah, you kind of quick memory, you lose that, or new memory, obviously, new plays coming through. It's now 2nd and 6. Moorhead going to step up, going to throw the ball. He's got a man breaking through left side. It is caught. And it's dropped. And it's
That's a live ball.
It's still out there. It's caught again, and it's into the end zone. Multiple penalties on the play. Tommy Wright, right place, right time. No pun intended. And for now, Hawken going to have this lead, and curious to see who this penalty's against.
I don't even know if that's a penalty, Kyle, or that was the fumble flag.
Looked like it was yellow, but they looked like they picked it up since. So we'll see what happens. But it turns out that everyone's walking forward. That's going to count.
I think that was the fumble flag, Kyle.
Wow.
I think that was orange. That was the fumble flag. That was all live ball, live awareness there for the Hawks. Are you kidding me?
How did we break that one down?
Happen? Yeah. Are you kidding?
So much to talk about on that, and after the extra point, we will, because there was a lot going on in that play, AA.
I mean, my goodness.
Well, first off, a fantastic catch.
Good throw. I love the throw.
Yeah. And Kine Obe caught the ball.
The throw was fantastic, and just awareness across the board. Are you kidding me?
Actually, not sure how to mark that in the stat sheet, Double A, as the extra point's up, and that one's good.
Well, we can say this. You can rule it a catch.
Right.
Because it was a fumble.
Right.
So catch, fumble, scoop, score.
All right. We know that, again, Tommy Wright, literally in the right place at the right time for Hawken to pick that ball up, because it was on the ground for a minute.
And you know what? It's been that way. It's been that way the whole. I will say this. This is the right time right now, Kyle, to encourage people who are, either in the stands with us now or watch us on ChagrinValleyConference.com to tune back into this broadcast on the replay to see how that all played out.
Yeah, because that was a play if you ever saw.
Oh,
ever saw one. Usually in that situation when that ball comes out, we're talking about the other team recovering it. But because it was such one-on-one coverage and both guys were down, the other receiver in the area was Tommy Wright, and of course, it's a foot race. He picked it up, and he was gone.
And again, we talked about building off of last year, a high-powered offense with the Hawks, and they find ways to score. And and it's just incredible what you see there. Moorhead, great throw as well.
Yeah.
Able to step in there.
He's had a great day throwing the football. He really
been
has.
Incredible.
Yeah, a good pocket presence too. We talked about it. Able to kind of move around and make the play. He's 7 of 8 for 134 yards and 2 touchdowns. That technically should be 3, but it's not. But still.
Good point.
Yeah, but still impressive. And now a 21-6 lead. Hawken on top after a couple of, I should say, a trio now of big plays.
Oh, boy.
Ironically enough, off to the passing game. We talked about the run for these two teams, but really it's been that. Ball on the ground, it's picked up. Here we go. Trinity going to take it. Going back out to the right side, and nowhere to go. Mario Muniz could not find some space for Trinity, and right now it's been all Hawken.
And think about momentum and how it all kind of capped off. Trinity had a great drive down the field, was stopped on a 4th down, and 2 plays later, the Hawks were able to score offensively. This is how quick a game can turn.
I'd even say the missed field goal when there was 7-6 early on in that first quarter.
That's right.
A chance to go up 9-7 and take the lead. A missed field goal. Obviously, Hawken comes all the way back and scores. Here we are. Now the momentum is firmly on the Hawks' side as the Trojans and Aiden Duncan, their star quarterback, try to figure some things out. Duncan himself's had a good game, but the team hasn't been able to get some more points on the board to match up with what the Hawks have been able to do.
Trinity's had opportunities. They're building. They are building. It's going to be important for them to make something happen in this drive.
Very much. As Duncan slips, but he's going to keep it. Going to roll it to the middle and go down, and nowhere to go. Looks like maybe he got back to the line of scrimmage at that Double A, but that was it.
Yeah, he was running right from the start. And the Hawks, remember how confident they were to start this game defensively. This is a very, very aggressive defense, and they get right to their spots immediately.
Yeah, so no gain, 2nd and 10 from their own 24-yard line. 3 minutes to go in this first half. Trinity trailing the home Hawken Hawks here, 21-6. And yeah, now Duncan in the shotgun with Jackson on his left hip, trying to just figure some things out and move his team down the field again. Duncan in the shotgun, looking left. He's going to roll left. He's going to move back to his right, makes one-man miss. Toss over the top, it's caught. What a play, and still on his feet moving through. And near a first down.
Oh, my goodness.
Is Darian Smith. What a play. A push pass over a defender, and it's caught, and it's near that first down marker.
That tells me you play ball on the field or in the playground, whatever. Like, that tells me you play ball.
And
that's the only time you make that kind of play.
They played ball enough to get that first down, Double A. 3rd catch of the day against Smith, and it's a chain mover. Aiden Duncan eclipsing 100 yards passing in this first half.
It's crazy. Anytime, you play a 7-on-7, like with your friends, like in the middle of the playground or street or something, you see those kind of plays every day.
Phenomenal. 11 of 13, 108 yards through the air for Duncan today. We haven't talked about on the ground yet. He's now in the shotgun. He's got 3 wide to the right. He's looking right. Back up the middle. Time in the pocket. Going to roll back out to his left. Duncan looking, setting, throwing. And just out of the reach of his receiver, that was A.J. McGinnis. He just could not get his hand up there, tried to do the old-fashioned Odell one-handed, but just couldn't pull it down.
Yeah, just a little bit off there. I kid you not, every time Dunk is moving around the pocket, it's just as a fan here, as us broadcasting this game, we do not know what's going to happen. It is very unpredictable what's going to happen.
Is he going to turn the corner, or is he going to launch the ball like that down the field? And just a little bit too long, but the throw was there. So now 2nd and 10, home 34-yard line for the Trojans of Trinity, trying to move and get some points before this half ends. Duncan under pressure. He's going to throw the ball to the dirt. Solid pressure from Luke Mangini right at the middle from Hawken, and Duncan had no choice but to throw it away.
When Mangini's called upon to blitz up the gut,
he's getting there.
He's going to get there.
Yeah, no questions asked.
But that's why, earlier with the screenplay that Trinity tried to run, this is why you want those screenplays to work, because you want to offset Mangini from pressuring. But we haven't seen much of those on the Trinity side.
Yeah, now we're looking at a 3rd and long again for Trinity. 1:51 to go in this first half. Duncan in the shotgun, 3 wide to the right. Gonna throw, lobbing it up over the top. It is just out of the reach of his receiver. And that was DeMonte McKenzie, who was deep on the left side of the field and a little bit less on it, and it was right on the money. But now a 4th and long, and the punting unit now, time to come out for Trinity.
Secondary had to work. They had to work.
They did.
These receivers, I will say these receivers, they got the speed. They're going to put these guys, put the secondary to work. Secondary's doing a good job, though, of the coverage, and the ball has to be perfect or for McKenzie to make that play.
And Aiden Duncan, I believe, also is the punter as well. So we're going to see him get this one away, and he's going to keep it and roll out. And he's actually going to miss the punt, and it's recovered by Hawken at the Trinity 32-yard line. At 34, they're going to get it.
Screaming pressure, Kyle. And when you get that pressure, anything can happen back there.
And that's why you like having your athletes out there to make the plays, but unfortunately, it's not the primary job, so you don't see it too much. Also, Trinity didn't punt very much last week, so
that's an interesting point, and sometimes you always say, like, even in practice, like, why do you spend so much time on special teams? There are so many situations that can happen.
Yeah.
And now the field is flipped.
Yeah.
The Hawken now, they're only going to 3 yards to score?
That's probably easily the best field position Hawkins had to start a possession all day long now, and a chance to put another score on the board before the half. 1:40 to go in the second quarter. And Johnson on the right side bouncing out, going to run out of bounds. Smart play, gain of about 5.
And the crazy thing, we haven't mentioned much of Johnson since the first couple of possessions.
Yeah,
just because he's been so many weapons offensively.
Yeah, he's been kind of quiet because he hasn't got the ball as much recently. Still 8 carries in the day, 57 yards for Johnson. He's actually got a catch too, but really it's been Donovan Moorhead in this first half that's been airing the ball out. 134 yards and 2 touchdowns with an asterisk next to it because of the third.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is an offense that a year ago had the stud tailback Dominic Johnson a year ago, and having to replace him.
You see Jordan Johnson now to the right side, turning the corner. Still on his feet, going to break it back to the left. Johnson's got some room to run. Turning up the field, he's still on his feet and goes down inside the 10 to the 9. 21 yards for Jordan Johnson.
The one thing that stands out, these players offensively, they do not give up on plays.
No.
They do not give up on plays. And since they have the natural second-level speed, they believe that they can go anywhere on the field and get an extra 10, 15 yards, even at the first contact. They can be completely another side of the field.
And again, the chain moving as now it's 1st and goal from the 9. Throw, Moorhead caught inside, touchdown, Mangini. Second receiving touchdown of the game for Luke Mangini. He's got a sack, he's got a big carry, and now he's got 2 receiving touchdowns. Can he do it all? Turns out, yes.
Yeah. Great blocking up front and incredible find by the quarterback. Moorhead again, just the footwork. You can't bring him down. And perfect touch on the football over to Mangini. And Mangini is going to complete those routes too.
Really did, and obviously all the way through, extended the ball, got it the full 9 yards for the touchdown. Extra point is up on the way, and it is good. And with that, the score, 28-6, Hawken on top of Trinity. A quick reminder, folks, that the presenting sponsor for CVC TV is Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Doctors Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Their specialists include dental surgery, as well as implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. The website, of course, www.ohsurgery.com. Of course, thank you for your support of the Chagrin Valley Conference and CVC TV. Now, Donovan Moorhead on the day, AA. 8 for 9, 143 yards and 3 scores.
Incredible. And, you need them early, with the injury of Lucas Brandt, so you need them in a little bit early here. So just incredible, just what we've been able to see.
Might be winning that job.
Could be.
With how he's been throwing the ball today and how he's looked against some good competition so far in Rhodes and now, of course, Trinity. Moorhead's been able to make some plays with his arm.
7 offensive starters returned, 7 defensive starters returned this year for the Hawks. And they're bringing in that experience, second year under this program.
Yeah.
So now, all of a sudden, these guys, they know the plays, they know where they have to be, and this machine. And, look, they're taking advantage of every opportunity.
Remember, they won their conference last year in the CVC. They went 5-1 in conference play, and they went 8-3 overall. So this is not a team that's still learning and struggling. They've been able to grow and improve as the season's gone on throughout both these past 2 years now, and it's showing in week 2 here as well, AA.
Yeah. Now, if you're Trinity here going into the half, you thought for a hot second, like, this game was really close, and, like, you look at the scoreboard like, whoa, what happened? There's some good things that they are doing. I like offensively, if you force Duncan basically to just, hey, read your keys, find your options down the field, he can make good throws. It's just getting a touch with him. So if they're able to do that in the second half, you might have a little something there for Trinity. But
you definitely want to get Theo Jackson going, too. Just 7 carries for 9 yards in his first half.
Yeah.
He is a difference maker for this team. As Duncan rolls out to the left, throws left side. It's caught again. Solid defense, though, by Hawken, shutting down Darian Smith before he could really get anywhere.
They're going to also have to figure out Trinity. They're going to have to figure out ways to offset the Hawks defense because they are screaming to the football seemingly every play. Every play, they are screaming to the football. The moment somebody gets this, there's a defender screaming right at them. We're not seeing much yards after reception, yards after catch. We're not seeing much of that on the Trinity side of things for that exact reason.
Yeah. As it's 2nd and 8, 47 seconds to go in this first half. Trinity has the ball on their own 32-yard line, down 28-6. Duncan's in the shotgun. He's got 3 wide to his right, 2 wide left. Going to look. He's going to roll out. Duncan going to use those legs. Throwing. It is caught. What a catch by Theo Jackson. Now, if he can't do it on the running, they're going to throw him the ball a little bit, and there's an injury on the play for Hawken.
Yeah.
It was on the tackle. I believe that was Ryan Whiting that actually went down.
Yeah, it was right there on the hip.
And again, Whiting's still down. Wishing Ryan the best here as we work with that. And seeing A. Duncan using those legs AA again to roll out and make a play on the other side of the 50 now with one big throw. And Theo Jackson, who's been struggling today, be able to run the ball effectively, getting him out and just getting him in space, getting him used to being able to run around a little bit because he hasn't had that opportunity to this point. And he makes a big play there. Huge catch.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely huge. And, get him out there, in open space. It's got to obviously what you want to do for Trinity and, get some points on the board before halftime. They have the ability to do so.
And Ryan Whiting able to stand up and get off the field on his own power, so that's great to see. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Sporting the shoulder a little bit on the hit.
Made a good hit.
He did.
That was a good tackle.
Good tackle, good catch, too. It was a good play altogether. That's why we watch football, right?
Yes,
to be able to
absolutely.
see stuff like that. Some good coaching. We talked about both coaches as well. Really coaching these guys up for both teams throughout the offseason into this season, too. And Trinity try to get to the ball quick and make something happen here as the clock is running.
Yeah, you see them. Right there, they want to move here, right now.
Yep, 30 seconds to go here in this first half. Aiden Duncan in the shotgun. Puts McKenzie in motion. From left to right, looking, Duncan, rolling right side. Going to try to make a play with his feet again. He's going to take the step out of bounds. And maybe a yard, actually, maybe went back a yard too, possibly with that, where they're marking the ball here. And they're going to move him back a yard, so a loss on the carry.
It's a full contact sport, Kyle.
Even the little guys in the field that are just hanging out.
Yeah, man.
Got to be careful.
Gotta be careful out there.
Aiden Duncan's coming at you full speed ahead. That's going to be if you can't catch him, just move out of the way.
That did stop the clock, though.
It did, which
for
was
Trinity,
important.
which is good for them. Probably saying right now, if you don't have options down the field, just go out of bounds. But
definitely, as Duncan's going to roll it to his left. Automatic rollout. Duncan looking, almost tracked down. Still has the ball, throws it, knocked down. Mangini is the spy. I think that's what we're talking about at this point. You mentioned earlier on in this half, like who's going to spy Duncan after those 2 big runs. We now know who it is.
Yeah.
It's possibly the best player on this defense.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, you tell him, like, hey, just track where he's going to go. And just his mind, you see it at work. It's incredible. So you figure what, 2 plays, I mean, it's 3rd down now, but 2 plays left here out of Trinity.
No, they still have 2 timeouts as well. So, but obviously getting Duncan on the move is what they want to do. So,
they were successful out of this formation earlier in the game.
We'll see if Trinity's learned, or Hawkins learned. It's caught. McKenzie trying to break through. He's going to go down. 6 seconds, 7 seconds, a timeout. Going to be called, I believe, by Trinity, and they will take it. They have 1 remaining, but there's only a handful of seconds left.
Yeah, Coach McSweeney right on it there for Trinity with the timeout. And, 1 play left here.
Yeah.
To Trinity's credit, they have been able to move down the field just enough here to give themselves an opportunity to get in the end zone on the last play before the half. So on their part, good for them. And obviously the big play between Duncan and Theo Jackson to set this up, pretty huge for Trinity. For a team that, to be perfectly honest, there's been a couple of misfortunes, particularly the fumble, the big play, fumble, scoop, score.
Yep.
You know, that's kind of changed fortunes on the scoreboard.
Yep. Missed field goal was mentioned, obviously, back in that first quarter was big as far as momentum for Trinity actually gotten a stop. They had driven the ball all the way back down, deep into Hawken territory, but just could not convert to get a little bit closer and try and get in the end zone. Just a missed field goal by Rosa there at that point, who've been perfect so far this season. Had kicked a 30-yarder last week as well, went 3 for 3 from extra points. So he was feeling pretty good.
Absolutely.
And the kick got there.
Yeah.
Just a little wide right, and then it led to this moment now with 7 seconds to go. You could do a quick play double A and try and get it out of bounds or call a timeout because you have the 1 left.
Yeah, they added, 4 seconds on the clock?
They did. So there's still a chance to move a little bit closer and throw it Hail Mary into the end zone, or do you just take 1 big shot here? We'll see what Trinity and Coach McSweeney decide to do. Duncan in the shotgun. He's going to look. He's going to go to his left, go back outside. Rolling out. Looks like this will be the half here. Duncan looking, going to flip it over. It's caught.
Oh, my goodness.
McKenzie's got some room. A block, it's clean, and there's a late flag, and that one's going to come back with a block in the back. McKenzie's trying to make a play, making people miss. It was worth the effort, worth the attempt down to the 5, but unfortunately that one's not going to count.
I will credit the effort.
That's the second time we saw that push pass. About 10 yards down the field. It wasn't even a normal pass.
Unbelievable.
And McKenzie
Unreal.
catching his breath, because he ran across the field, did a couple jukes, made a couple people miss, and did everything he could to get into the end zone, but just too many red jerseys. And that's gonna wrap it up. Again, talking to Coach Marino on the sideline here. They're gonna give him the information. Looked like, early on, double A, possible block in the back from Trinity. And you can still see McKenzie is just out of breath as he walks off. And actually going to decline the penalty, so no worries there. That's the end of it. So that's going to be a completed pass.
Interesting.
For Aiden Duncan and company. They're just going to give it to him and go into the break here for halftime. With that, we'll take a break as well. On the other side, we'll break down your first half numbers, get you ready for the second half. The score 28-6. Right now, Hawken on top of Trinity here at Walton Stadium in beautiful Gates Mills, Ohio. Back in just a bit. Welcome back into Walton Stadium here in beautiful Gates Mills, Ohio. The score at halftime, 28-6. The home Hawken Hawks leading the Trinity Trojans in your CVC TV game of the week. Yes, it is Saturday afternoon. You're not seeing a shift in poles or anything like that. We're still good. It's sunshine for a reason out here. Of course, the game was postponed yesterday due to the crazy weather we had here in Northeast Ohio, and a lot of crazy plays on the field in that first half AA. Just kind of breaking down what we saw from both sides with these two teams. And what a first half for the quarterback of the Hawken Hawks. Filling in Donovan Moorhead. Talk about the sophomore, what he's been able to do to this point in the game. 8 for 9, 143 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Could have been 4 if not for a fumble that ended up still getting taken for a touchdown for Hawken anyway.
Yeah.
And that drive AA. I mean, really, the passing attack for both these teams kind of surprisingly here and really good.
Yeah, offensively, the passing attack has been phenomenal. Remember, early in the game, it was Aiden Duncan, running, all over the field. But, those adjustments have been made defensively. We'll talk about that in just a second. But offensively, Hawken, they've just been able to utilize all their weapons with Johnson, and of course, with Mangini in there on the ground. But I've been very impressed with what we have seen from Moorhead and just his ability to find the open receivers. The size helps too.
Yeah.
But to find the open receivers, he's making the throws that needs to be made, and it's right there. That perfect touch is there, and it's helped out with their high explosive offense.
For Trinity, you mentioned Aiden Duncan, what he did in that first half. He had a pretty good one, 15-21, 177 yards through the air. He also ran 7 times for 76 yards, and the only score for the Trojans today. Trinity's in an interesting spot here, AA, as far as being able to try and work. Now they're going to have a chance right off the bat here to try and make something happen, but thoughts for them as you kind of get ready for this second half, because it's a big hole, 22 points against a good Hawken team. Yeah,
you mentioned 76 yards rushing for Duncan. It could easily have been more, but a couple of things are happening. We talked about the end of the first half. The defense is screaming for Hawken. They're screaming to the football. Mangini, he's obviously defensively just a beast. He's just a beast. He's been able to do that. I want to give credit, though, as well, to Obi number 11, because I don't know if he has a recorded sack, but he does not, but he has been chasing Duncan all over the field, especially in the second quarter, and his pressure has limited the field for Duncan, because every time he rolls out, you're cutting off half the field. So that's been going on with Trinity, and they've been limiting the options for them. And a lot of it is due to the initial pressure driven by this Hawken defense.
So again, it's going to be really interesting to see how Trinity handles this. They're going to get the ball here to start the second half, as the vuvuzelas and cowbells are in full effect here for the Hawks, who had a great first half.
Tell you what, a great campus here.
Yeah, the energy's great.
Our first time here. And
enjoying it. Good hosts as well. And if you're wondering why maybe you're hearing a bit more crowd noise than normal too, it's because we're actually sitting in the stands with the parents here and the different folks that are in attendance.
I had an opportunity to talk to a few of them during the halftime break. Also in attendance, couple Gilmore.
Getting ready for next week.
They're getting ready. Big game next week as well. But
talked to Louis Justice's mom as well, by the way. He's out with an injury, of course, starting offensive lineman. One of the bigger ones. He's 6'7", 315 pounds. What a kick through the back of the end zone for Javoris. That's going to be a touchback. Speaking about Louis for a second, he's one of those team leaders. Obviously has a decision to make at the end of this season. Hoping to get him back in the next number of weeks from that ankle injury that he suffered not too long ago. Coach was talking about him before the game as well. One of the stalwarts of the offensive line. So looking to get him back. Big number 62 there for Hawken. Best wishes for Louis. And of course, thanks to the family for listening to us on CVC TV as well.
Yeah, listen every week the past couple of years.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Here on ChagrinValleyConference.com and CVC TV on YouTube.
Just love the sound of Double A's voice. That's why they do that. Honestly. I'm just here. Double A's the one that's...
Stop it.
So Trinity's going to have the ball on their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
It'll be on Chat GPT. Never mind. Now I'm going to stop now.
No, Double A, I imagine. I'm going to get your mind out of there for a second. Coach McSweeney probably telling the team, hey, it's 0-0 at halftime, right? That's probably the mindset you would think.
Absolutely.
As Duncan does take the ball, the shotgun roll out to the left. He's going to keep it himself. And positive gain for Aiden Duncan. Out to about the 25, 26-yard line, gain of about 6. And you want to keep the ball moving forward right now if you're Trinity to really start this offensive possession in the second half.
And a good effort up front by the offensive line, by Monte McKenzie up there up front. You're going to need those guys up front to, get those blocks. And you almost have to, if you're going to run the football, you have to initiate the blocking. You cannot wait for the Hawks to come at you.
Right. 2nd and 4, on 26 for the Trojans. Duncan going to hand off Jackson on the right side, trying to spring something to get some yards here. Jackson turns the corner and gets a few close to the first down marker.
Zavoris, yeah. I'm sorry there, Kyle. He stayed on that play.
Did not give up.
Made that happen, and you got to do that. And, again, we did not see that in the first drive, first Trinity offensive drive. We've seen it since.
Yeah.
These defenders staying with these athletic Trinity players.
So now we're looking at 3rd and 1 from their own 29, 10:42 to go in the third quarter, and a bit of a adjustment with the line for Trinity. Some movement. Got to get everyone set. Duncan ready in the shotgun. He'll take the snap. He's going to roll to his left. Looks like it's going to be a keeper. Duncan turning. He's got someone on his hip, and he's brought down. And looks like that may be just short. Obi and Mangini. There you go, Double A.
Yep, those two guys. And
yeah, it looks like they're actually going to give Duncan the first down. He got just enough, the tip of the football. How about that?
Game of inches. Talk about that all the time.
Very, very close play, and it looks like, again, just barely got that first down. So now Trinity with a new set, new life and a new set of downs here on their own 30-yard line. Duncan going to turn, going to hand off left side. It looks like
Obi again.
Yeah, Obi got there, and DeMonte McKenzie got the carry just for about 3 or 4 yards. Injured Hawk down on the field right now. So that Obi was on the tackle. And I believe that may be him down right now, so going to just keep an eye on him. Hopefully going to be okay with that Double A. But
Definitely. And already these first initial plays of this quarter, physicality up front. And actually now, this drive is playing out a little bit more of how we expected this game to be coming in. Like how are these lines are going to respect, get the job done up front. And Trinity pulling some tricks there in the backfield with their guys, and the Hawks trying to fight it off. I mean, these are not big gains, but even on the third down that we thought was a stop, it turned into a 1-yard gain for the first down. Things like that. It wasn't a bad play defensively. Trinity just did enough to get the first down. That battle up front.
Well, we talked about setting the tone and obviously moving the ball forwards. Even if it is only a yard, it's obviously situational, right? If you can keep going forward, you want to keep that momentum that direction. And they've shown how Trinity on that second drive that Hawken had, they're able to get a stop. They're able to stop this offense if they can get some momentum. So that's why this offensive possession is so important, because if they are able to put some points on the board here and put some pressure back on the Hawks, then this becomes a different kind of ball game.
Definitely, and Obi making some plays, able to jog off the field.
Just stretch out the leg a little bit. Maybe some cramping going on, too. We are a little late for the game, so makes sense.
Get a different routine.
Yeah, definitely. Duncan going to hand off to McKenzie again on the right side. He's met by Mangini on the line right there. And Double A, you could say his name till you're blue in the face there. It's not going to change. He's always going to be there to say it again. Why not?
Yeah, and just incredible. Just, again, what he's been able to do. Again, last year, has 76 tackles. I think he might beat that number this year.
He may beat the number this game. He's been all over the field.
It's amazing.
It's a lot.
And sometimes, we talk about a lot of two-way players. You're motivated offensively. Sometimes it's hard to be motivated defensively. Mangini making just as much impact, if not more, defensively.
Yep. And 9 minutes to go in this third quarter. Duncan going to roll to the right. He's going to take it. Going to keep the ball on the ground. Duncan still pushing forward, and he's going to get the first down. By about a couple of yards there. Aiden Duncan moves the chains, gain of about 9, and that'll do it.
Smooth. He is a smooth runner. And seemingly every time he's able to get out of the pocket, he's able to get the seal, from his line. So that helps him out very much.
Approaching 100 yards. He's at 92 for the game on the ground, double A, not to mention 177 through the air for Aiden Duncan so far. You think of those numbers out there, the score would be a little different, but still 28-6 with Hawken on top of Trinity. Duncan got a hand. Jackson middle. Gets Matt at the line. Hey, double A, who was that on the tackle?
I believe that was one Luke Mangini.
Okay, just checking in with you, bud.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, he's been all over the field and just stopping Jackson in his tracks for no gain.
Yeah, I think we might be seeing an all-conference effort out there defensively for number 30.
Just keeps on going. Focus more on the defensive end today. Only one carry, but he's caught 2 balls as well on the offensive side, so he's been all over. Duncan going to throw left side. It's caught. Smith has the ball, and he's going to get brought back and down. Yeah, he does some kicking, but Javoris with a tackle for a loss there, too.
Great find. Great open field tackle. Sometimes it was right there for you. Sometimes the play's not made. And he's able to make that play and do so. And also to be mindful as well defensively. Obi, number 11, back out on the field after missing a couple plays with the injury.
Yeah, Darian Smith just really had nowhere to go on that screenplay because it was a great closeout from Javoris in that defense. Just really kind of picking up on some of those screens now and trying to sniff them out before they even get any room to breathe.
And again, it's just quick. We talk about all games, just screaming to the football. This defense is really good at it.
Oh, so here we go, 3rd and long, more familiar territory for Trinity. A lot of these in that first half. And it looks like it's going to be a jump on the offensive line, false start. And we'll do it again with 5 more yards tacked on. That's the 6th penalty of the day on Trinity so far.
Yeah, and obviously it has to be cut down. And these are the kind of things that not only, even if the start down is not, this flips the field. Mm-hmm. And that's been the difference with the scoreboard.
Yep, now 3rd and 19, double A from the 33-yard line of the Trojans as Trinity and Aiden Duncan try to make some magic here with 6.5 to go in this third quarter. Duncan dropping back, going to step up in the pocket. He's going to break through, toss it, and it's caught, and it's a first down and more. What a catch and run there by Xavier Pearson. Haven't heard his name in a while as he moves the chains.
Yeah, remember Pearson missed a little bit of time during this game of injury as well. He came, he's back in, and good work by Duncan, able to step up into the pocket amongst intense pressure, find the open man, get the first down. Seemingly successful on 3rd and longs.
I guess it's just better if it's harder for them. I don't know what it is.
I mean, if it's 3rd and 6, no chance. If it's 3rd and 17,
then we have a shot. Then we have a chance. So here we go. 1st and 10 on the other side of the field now. 43-yard line of Hawken for the Trinity Trojans. Duncan in the shotgun. Actually, no, it's going to be McKenzie. He's going to take a straight snap, I should say, and he'll take the ball for a gain of 4 to 5 yards. Duncan getting a play off there.
A little bit of wildcat. You got a player down. Actually, a couple players down for Trinity.
It's been an impressive day, double A, for Aiden Duncan so far, throwing the football now, too. 17 for 23, 199 yards. And again, looking at the confirmation on who is down on the field for us here.
McKenzie's one of them, number 3.
Which would be obviously a loss for this Trinity team. He's done a lot, catching the ball and running the ball now to the backfield on that wildcat play, as double A mentioned before. And 2 players down. But a few cramps issues here or there. Obviously playing on a day that was not originally scheduled because of the weather here in Northeast Ohio. We couldn't tell today. It's one of the better days maybe we've had all summer long.
Yeah.
Not too much wind. Hanging around the 70s, low 70s here today.
Yeah, but you always remember, you're that, full football equipment. It gets hot. Gets hot very quickly. And with the intensity and the speed that both of these teams are playing, like they're both this is maximum effort, we're seeing with both of these teams.
Yeah. So you talked about Xavier Pearson, one of those guys that actually went out early in that first half after making a couple of big catches. Another one there, he's got 3 catches for 73 yards in this game, AA. It's one of the players that Coach McSweet made us change his number because it was a different number on the roster sheet.
Yeah, he was originally 42.
Yeah, but then he told us as well, by the way, he's going to make some plays for us today. And now Xavier's showing why Coach was right.
Yeah,
right
and he talked about it. Very talented junior class for the Trojans. Very talented. And he's one of those guys that's been able to step in there. We have to mention Duncan, the quarterback, is also a junior. So you got a lot of these guys. And sometimes you realize you have that special class. You work out with each other. All these years you work out with each other, and you have that instant chemistry, and it builds on.
They have classes with everybody. Yeah, it all kind of goes full circle with that usually. And
you trash talk each other in class.
You actually hear what AA says to me when we're off the air.
Man.
My goodness. You thought trash talking's bad on the field.
Man, you'd be blowing the smoke.
Come to the announcer booth. Yeah, I'll tell you what.
Man, you just hope these players are okay as the trainers.
Down, yeah.
And I'll tell you what, you talk about a full team effort, the athletic staff, the training staff, all these teams, we see it every week. We see it all throughout the Chagrin Valley Conference, all throughout high school football, training staffs. They're the first go-to. Usually, every day, Saturday mornings after these Friday night games, they're the first go-tos.
So the other player in that melee was Theo Jackson, number 7. Also getting stretched out. Both guys were. Looks like DeMonte McKenzie is still getting stretched out.
I can't recall how many times, our players, even back at Maple Heights, every Saturday morning, whatever, was like, Patty, every time, talk about the trainers. They deserve just as much credit.
So both McKenzie and Jackson have been able to get over to the sideline now, walking off on their own power, stretching things out. That cramping's a thing. Definitely happens. I mentioned, even if it's a nice day out here, it still is obviously hot underneath those pads, and got to make sure you get those fluids in them. Talked about it in Conneaut, too, for our first game of the season. There was a lot of cramping going on. Where are the bananas?
Yeah.
Get some bananas on the sideline. First, 2nd and 6, actually. Big hit. Hey, AA, who was that on the tackle? You want to fill us in?
I believe his first name starts with an L.
Last name ends with Mangini. There you go. Yeah. Another one for Luke Mangini after a short gain for Trinity. So it's going to be 3rd and short.
Mallet was also in there, too. And you want to see, and a lot of these are not just, Mangini's getting the credit for it, but it is also a second effort being in there, too. It's usually a second or third player also making a play, too, defensively.
And now Muniz in the backfield with Duncan. He's going to throw it to the right side. It's caught. And there is Pearson again, and he's going to move the chains, I believe, with a first down.
Yeah, he should have forward progress there.
Well, Xavier Pearson with his 4th catch of the ball game, and he's made plays, first downs on all 4 of them.
Yeah, and give credit to these receivers. They're finding the open gap, the curl routes, and Duncan's finding the open man.
Really is. He's back on a throw again. Throws it outside, just out of the reach. Looking for Darian Smith, just could not bring it in. So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 19 of Hawken, and this long drive continues for the Hawks, or against the Hawks, I should say, for the Trojans.
Yeah, I believe this. Yeah, this is still the first drive of the half.
Yep, we've had a bit of a running clock here for this first part. Change, and obviously keeping it going.
And obviously, like, if you're Trinity, at this moment, don't worry about the clock. You're just trying to get an efficient drive down the field and, get back in the end zone. Because, again, you found some good things at the end of the first half. You just ran out of time. But kind of get that going.
Duncan in that wide set again. He's got 3 wide to his left as and Pearson comes in motion. Duncan's going to roll. He's going to pitch out to Pearson. Pearson cuts up left side, still on his feet. Down to about the 25-yard line. Give him about 5. So we'll see a third down and manageable for this Trojan offense.
Mallet again making a play defensively. Jackson's back in, Theo Jackson. He's back in, number 7.
Yep.
From the injury.
Seeing some Muniz as well back in the game now as well. Mario Muniz, one of the guys we were expected to watch out for today. Going to get some reps there too. So some more rotation as some of those injuries pop up here and there with the stretching and obviously giving some more breaks to some of the players. 3 wide to the right here on this third down and 6. 3:55 to go in this third quarter.
Watch up top.
Yeah, here comes Mangini. Rolling out though, Duncan throwing. It's caught. And another first down. And who else? That's Pearson, who makes another big play.
And this time, we might have another player slow to get up on the Trinity side.
Looking out to the right, and looks like that may be Jackson again, possibly, who was stumbling out of the blocks a little bit when he came out of the huddle too, and you almost wonder, again, not fully stretched out from the cramp yet, possibly, and that could be why he's getting worked on again here really quick.
But you feel like as a player, you want to get right back in, and you don't blame anybody for that. You know, you want to play, you want to get back in there, you know, get things going. So obviously the training staff right back out there. But again, credit to Duncan, able to go out there and continue to look downfield.
He's making the right decision about 99% of the time he rolls out, whether it's getting out of bounds, just getting the ball down, whatever it is, or making that completion. And it's coming across his body, even across the field there. It's still a smart throw to Pearson, who now has multiple catches here in this third quarter. He's up to 5 catches for 97 yards in the ball game. Is Xavier Pearson right now. And can you mention out for a little bit in that second quarter? Presence being felt now again in the third. Trinity driving, taking a lot of time off the clock, but trying to close this gap a little bit. Try and make it a 2-score game and try to work back into this.
Yeah, and we cannot stress enough, you know, like when you talk about, you know, when you miss one guy, that especially at this level, it changes the way you approach the game. It changes the way you approach, you know, play calling and everything. So all these injuries, they do matter, even if you're out only for a few plays or for a quarter or a half or a game. I know the Hawks came into this game shorthanded, a couple of key guys out. You know, those things do matter.
Yeah, Trinity only a couple injuries to report today before the game, that being Dylan Washington, the sophomore wide receiver cornerback combo. He was out today, as well as Parker Hall, who was a starter for that line, big number 74, center and a tackle. He's a junior, 6'4", 185, one of the bigger kids on the team as well for Trinity. He missing today's action. On the other side, coming into the game, we talked about one of those players earlier for Hawken, being Big Louis Justice, again, the 6'7", 300-plus pounds center, defensive tackle. He's a beast out there. And it was Jackson, who is now still just trying to work out that leg.
You can tell he just desperately wants to be in the game.
Yeah. It's been tough sledding for Jackson, too, just 9 carries for 12 yards. He made that big catch in the second quarter there to kind of get some more juices flowing with some positive plays, but hasn't been able to really, running the ball, able to get anything going too much to that point yet. Lucas Brand, of course, last year's starting quarterback for this Hawken Hawk team, obviously out today as well. And Manuel Robinson, senior wide receiver, was out as well. So what's your speedy recovery for all 3 of those guys, as well as the 2 from Trinity, too, being Washington and Parker Hall there. So back to action, 3:30 to go in this third quarter. 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line of Hawken. Trinity threatening to score. Aiden Duncan throws through the hands and incomplete. Pearson had it just behind. One of the rare incompletions of the day for Aiden Duncan.
Yeah, ball was a little bit behind, but ball being a little bit behind almost led to a turnover. I mean, that's just, you think about a drive that has lasted almost the entire quarter, not coming away with a score if you're Trinity would obviously be a blow.
Yep, 2nd and 10, 3:21 to go in the third quarter of action here from Walton Stadium. 28-6 is your score. The Hawken Hawks leading the Trinity Trojans, but Trinity is driving deep into Hawken territory now. Duncan in the shotgun. He's got Muniz on his left hip. Pearson in motion from right to left. Duncan going to roll to his left. He's going to throw. It's up. It's fought for and almost took it away. Javoris read that perfectly and almost got the interception from Pearson's hands.
Oh, my goodness. He's like, I want that back. He thought he had it. You really thought. Two straight plays now where you thought, oh, he's going to get a turnover, but Trinity has another chance here on his 3rd and 10.
We talked about it before. Both teams with solid kickers. But I think at this point, if you're Trinity, you're trying to score a touchdown.
You have to chase points now.
Yeah, you have to try and get some points on the board to make something happen. And you're going to rely on number 5 to try and do that for you here.
And you got 2 plays right now, at least to get the first down to do it. 15 yards away. This team has worked very hard to get to this point of the field.
So Duncan going to be alone in the backfield. 3 wide left, 2 wide right. Pearson in motion. Pearson going to fake it. He's going to keep it. Is Duncan. Duncan breaks through. He's got room on the right side. Mangini chases him down and saves a potential first down and touchdown.
Yeah, outside containment was broke there. And, got to stay home. Your defense got to stay home because you're not going to get a big play offensively.
So looking at 4th and short, maybe 4th and 2. So that's now officially 100 yards on the day running for Aiden Duncan, but he wants a first down here. And a timeout going to be called by Hawken. Their first of the second half as Trinity was ready to go to the line and try and push one through. So instead now we'll talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, Trinity was sprinting out their goal line package.
Yep.
It's like right there, like, whoa. Got to slow it down. Think about this one.
They're just a hair off the 5-yard line here with a little bit to go, a couple yards. So we'll see what happens. On the other side of this timeout, Double A, obviously this is a crucial drive for Trinity. You want points on this. They're officially putting the ball, by the way, at the 7-yard line. So we're still about a yard or 2 short of that first down.
Yeah.
Now the 6, so. I imagine if you're going to give it to somebody in this spot, it probably would be Aiden Duncan, I would think.
Well, and again, something to watch for. What has been successful in this drive, even when Duncan's had to roll out, has been the curl over to Pearson. So that's something that's being coached up. Now, will Trinity come back out in their goal line big man package like they trotted out before the timeout?
We'll see. Yes, here we go, and they're going to do just that, Double A. High formation. Going to be a handoff. Jackson up the middle, curls back inside. He's going to have the first down, I believe.
Yeah, he does.
He does. So Theo Jackson moves the chains, and it's going to be 1st and goal now for Trinity. They're not going to waste much time here.
And they shouldn't. They should be right back at it.
So 1st and goal. Jackson again fires through into the end zone. Touchdown. Theo Jackson lumbers his way in, and we got a ball game, folks.
How many plays was this drive?
A lot.
Oh, my goodness. An efficient workman drive. Coach McSweeney talked about this team being they want to play Ironman football. And, that's nothing more than that, what we saw there.
Yep, 28-12 the score now, and again, Duncan going to hold. PAT is up off a helmet, and that is going to fall, and it's going to be no good. Jonathan Rosa couldn't get air out of the ball, and that means the score is going to stay 28-12 with 2:53 to go in this second half. Or I should say this third quarter, with again, Hawken on top.
Yeah, we're going to have another injury, too.
Oh, boy. This is a good time, folks, to remind you again, the presenting sponsor for CVC TV, of course, is Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Doctors Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Their specialties include dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website. You can just go to www.ohsurgery.com. Of course, thank you for your support of the Chagrin Valley Conference and CVC TV. Also, want to thank our scoreboard sponsor, Independence Business Supply, an Ohio-owned and operated company. Of course, they have a full-service facility here in Cleveland, Ohio, capable of shipping supplies anywhere in the U.S. IBS is a business products dealer providing you with a single source for office products, faculty and break room supplies, printing, promotional products, and furniture. Of course, you can visit orderibs.com to learn more about our products and amazing customer service. So we just got some words from the referee there.
It was a clock adjustment.
Okay.
Yeah, 2:55 on the clock.
So that's what we have.
Mm-hmm.
Left to go in this third quarter. 28-12 the score. Now Trinity moving a bit closer. Long drive, double A. As you mentioned, they had the ball so far for the entirety of this third quarter, almost a 10-minute drive. Yeah. And it results in points.
Yeah, and points that were not promised because it was 2 straight plays that almost were turnovers. So, like, for a long drive like that to be successful, everything has to go right. And it's good to see David Bumgardner, number 55, back up. But with that score, 2-possession game. And for the Hawks, most of those players, after that long defensive drive, they're going to go back out here on special teams, this kick return, and then on offense. So, first off, they should be excited that they're back on offense. But all the energy that was taken out of that drive, because it was a lot of third and shorts that were converted, I'm very curious to see their energy level as this next offensive drive starts for the Hawks. It may not be the same, and that's something to look out for.
See if that momentum carries over. They had all the momentum in the first half, scoring 28 points there, and see if the break from halftime and not being able to play on the field for a while here will actually show up or not. And Johnson with the return. Going to break back inside and go down near the 40-yard line. Solid return by Jordan Johnson.
And that's the importance of special teams, because you're like, wait a minute, where's the energy level going to be? They're going to start with great field position because of an excellent kick return. Great blocking up front, setting up that return.
So that's going to give quarterback Donovan Moorhead the ball back on his own 40-yard line. And what a first half he had, Double A. Mentioned 8 of 9, 143 yards and 3 touchdowns. Could have possibly been 4 with some more yards there, if not for a fumble that still got returned for a touchdown for Hawken anyway.
I think the last time we saw Moorhead on the field in real time might have been like an hour ago.
Yeah, I think you're playing the light side of that time coin there, buddy. It could have been even longer before that, as he is now back in the pistol. 1st and 10, and it's going to be a handoff. Johnson, left side, going to cut left, stay cutting left, and eventually going to get brought down after a gain of about 2 to 3 yards.
Defense feeling decently good about that, but again, that's how you get started there. With Johnson off of good momentum from the kick return he had there, and we're gonna have another player down.
The effects of not playing Friday night into Saturday, obviously the sun beating down, different. We're in the shade, so we're kind of in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, and those effects, the long drive, the break there, so you got to get a trainer out there. They'll from their angle, it's kind of hard to see too.
Of course, hoping, again, just some cramping. Obviously, we're kind of seeing a lot now through the early parts of the second half.
But I'll tell you, early in the season, when you're not used to – and you got to think, too, you talked about it. Both these teams last week had huge blowout wins a week ago. So now you're at real game speed, competitive for – we're still in the third quarter. So 3 quarters in, it's going to be – this game's going to go down to the stretch, in the fourth quarter. So the game action is different. One other thing to point out, too, you got the expanded playoff that started in 2020. Camp did not move back a week. Camp still starts, late July. So that's one less week of, of conditioning. Which, great for kids,
Oh, when you're in high school, you love it.
Man,
one last week of running? Are you serious? Yes, where can I sign?
Yeah, you do not want another week of camp. But that's how those things are impacted.
Yeah, Paxton Lassinger was the player that went down there with the cramping. He's gingerly walking off the field here.
And he talked during media days. He talked about every practice we want our team to be 2% better after every practice. And that effort is showing in this game.
Moorhead dropping at the pass, going to throw it up. He's got a man. It is caught. Right place, right time. Tommy Wright with the big catch. Moves the chains. First down, Hawken.
And he's been all over the place. He's been at the right place all the way. And from a receiving standpoint, that is a perfect play if you're a receiver. Great route. And then all hands. That's exactly what you want out of your receiver. Great job.
Solid gain of about probably 33 yards there for Wright. That's going to move the chains. First down and 10 on the Trinity 25. Pitch back outside. Here comes Johnson. Johnson breaks left and gets over the 20 near the first down marker.
And what does Wright do? What does some of the other guys do right after the big play? They're right out there blocking on the perimeter side. And as a receiver, if you get receivers to dedicate themselves to blocking when they don't get the football, you got a pretty good football team, pretty well-coached football team.
Exactly right. Is it now it's 2nd and 3 on the 18-yard line Trinity for Hawken, trying to make some more noise and get back on the scoreboard. Johnson off the middle, breaks through, going to get that first down.
So all those players, you think we just had the long, 10-minute drive with Trinity, and we said it the other way. You got to get back out there defensively.
Mm-hmm.
And
so you're tired. I mean, it was a long drive on offense, a lot of effort to try to just get points back on the board. Now you're trying to bring it back home on defense to a team that's had a lot of time to rest and is probably feeling pretty good.
And the Hawks, they're attacking quick.
Really are. As again, Moorhead is in that pistol, looking left, going to throw out. It is caught. DeVoris, left side, extends. Touchdown, Hawken. 4th passing touchdown of the day for Moorhead.
You got a team that's just flat out in sync. And they know, and not just in sync, we talk about this being the 2nd year in this offensive system. Everybody knows where they need to be. That's one of those. The ball was in the air when the receiver turned around. That's how you know you're in great position.
Hawken going to take another timeout. This is actually their 2nd of the half, 1:20 to go. They moved the ball down the field fairly quickly. They started from their own 40 and a couple of big plays through the air. And we talked about, obviously, Lucas Brandt not being in the game today with an injury. The starting quarterback from last season, right, AA. The way Donovan Moorhead has played under center, looking poised, looking like a pocket passer that's able just to pick apart a defense. He's earning that job right now.
Yeah, and now Brandt is listed
as a wide receiver.
As a receiver.
So it makes you wonder, was this the plan all along, possibly,
maybe,
to bring Moorhead in and kind of move Lucas into that role as that, well, I can still throw the ball if I want to, but I can be more of a receiver, more of use my legs type avenue, whereas obviously Donovan's more of that pocket guy who's not going to run as much.
So we had their game last year against Brooklyn a year ago.
Right.
And what Brandt was, one thing that stood out with Lucas Brandt, he is very athletic.
Yes.
Very athletic. So he would be an ideal he'll be an ideal skill player. If you want to put him out there receiver, ideal spot for him.
Excited to see him come back in a few weeks here, hopefully, and see what he can do with this offense, obviously, which is clicking on all cylinders. Javoris just caught the touchdown. Well, he's going to pull some double duty here and try and kick the extra point. That's a bad snap. Javoris actually going to keep it himself. He's going to throw it up into the end zone. It's tipped and incomplete.
Oh, my goodness. Boy, those special team plays, boy, they become entertaining. All day.
For Trinity, Christopher Roberts, again, a junior was there. He's actually, he started to cramp up a little bit as well. He knocked the ball out of the hands of the receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Roberts making a good play, saving 2 points there for Trinity, and now it's 34-12. That's where we stand with 1:20 to go in this third quarter. Hawken back up top by 3 scores.
Now, if you want the one question mark for this Hawks team coming off last year was the defense. And the defense has been solid, but I want to see, after you gave up that long drive a little bit ago, all right, you got the score, great. This is the moment where you want to shut this game down. This is the moment right now. You come back out, this might be Trinity's last stand offensively here. So this is the moment where if you're the Hawks, you want to make a statement. You want to slam the door shut right now.
Yeah. Definitely in that moment, especially for this Hawks defense, a statement making drive here on their end. For Trinity, you're just trying to stay alive in this ball game right now. Everything's going to be touchdowns and 2-point conversion attempts, I imagine, all the way through here. So trying to get Aiden Duncan back in rhythm again, throwing that ball. He kind of got out of it, but they got saved with some good runs toward the end of that last drive. That got into the end zone, of course. Jackson was able to break through. Solid kick.
I don't think Trinity's had a return today.
Javoris has a boot, and he's still technically perfect from those extra points. He didn't take one in that last attempt because of the snap.
That's right.
So Javoris showing why he's probably going to get some recruiting numbers and some recruiting calls kicking the ball as well, because he's able to put that ball so far out into the back of that end zone.
I wonder how long, Kyle, they're going to stick with the spy scenario here, with that approach. The only reason why I bring that up, I wonder if we're going to see more of an effort defensively to keep Duncan inside the pocket. Instead of him going outside, and it is a tough task, but instead of him rolling outside, especially to the right, and finding an open guy, can they keep Duncan in the pocket and force him to make plays from inside the pocket?
We will see as McKenzie's in motion. It's going to be a handoff on the other side through to Muniz. Muniz gets caught in the backfield and brought down. Big tackle there by the Hawken Hawks, number 11, Keeney Obi. There he is. Spying Duncan. He went with the misdirection, stayed there, and followed through on the play, made the big tackle for a loss.
And it's been very important for, depending on the type of defense, some defense is the defensive end, other defense is the outside linebacker. But they have an important job, even more of an important job now than we've seen even 10 or 20 years ago, against these type of offenses and against these type of mobile quarterbacks.
Duncan ready in the shotgun, going to look out to his left. He's going to roll left, still on his feet. Cutting inside, throws it. Wobbly pass, it's caught. What a catch by Darian Smith.
Great effort by Smith to make the catch.
Yeah, Smith was near that first down, almost got it, a gain of 12. So Duncan's at 235 yards passing today. If you're wondering, Darian Smith has 6 catches. Darian Smith, by the way, a freshman. So, baptism by fire for the freshman today.
Not at all.
He's getting a lot going on here, and he's been able to make some big plays. And that's going to end the third quarter as time runs out. We had 5 players in the backfield. Interesting setup there. I don't know if we can actually do that or not. Check the rule book, but we're going to move into the fourth quarter.
Want to see the snap?
Yeah, with your score 34-12. The Hawken Hawks ahead of the Trinity Trojans here in your CVC TV game of the week. We're going to switch sides of the field. In Double A again, Aiden Duncan just showing off the magic right now. He's been impressive.
Yeah, and because I was going to say that was perfectly defended, and Duncan still made the play. I mean, and that happens. That's what makes these games frustrating. If you're the defense, it really does, because it's like you did everything right. Obi read the play perfectly, forced Duncan to stay inside. You know, the only thing I would say though is that ball being in the air a little bit wobbly.
It is he threw as well. So it is very last second, hey, we're just trying to make a play. If you're in a tie game or if you're ahead in that situation, you probably don't try and make that throw.
Yeah.
But because it is, you're down 22.
Maybe if you're in the secondary, depending on who's coaching you, some coaches would say be a little bit more aggressive, go for the pick, or they might be saying here, keep everything in front of you, just don't give up the big play.
Yeah.
And you could be seeing that too, which is fine because you got the big lead. Okay, fine. We'll give up the big, we'll give up 7-8 yards. You're not giving up 30 yards.
Right. And that same lineup with 5 in the backfield out there, but a fumble on the play. I'm not sure what was going on. It just seems like maybe there was an issue, and there was. A false start going to be called on Trinity. I've never seen multiple running backs on both hips of a quarterback before. That is a first for me. I've done this for 14 years.
And honestly, because it was a false start, we're robbed of the opportunity to find out that was legal.
Exactly right. I was looking forward to seeing that. I was kind of curious.
I just wanted to see the ball snap just so we see.
Were we going to see yellow laundry either way in that play?
I don't know.
Yeah. So I'll move back a few paces.
I mean, technically, how many players are supposed to be lined up?
I think you're supposed to have 6.
I believe 6.
6 on the line.
I mean, well, technically,
yeah, I get that.
One of the linemen probably was checked it as an eligible receiver.
We're combing the rule book now for you folks to figure.
We don't know, ladies and gentlemen.
So 3rd and 6. Duncan going to roll out to his right, looking down the field, trying to make some more magic, and he gets brought down. Late flag and a late hit. The ball came out towards the end. Mangini was there, of course. But there was a flag towards the end on that. Going to wait to see what the official ruling is.
Yeah, there's an orange flag indicating there was a fumble that was indicated.
That's too close. We need to switch that. I'm colorblind, apparently. We need to get like a green flag.
It is curious, though, why that's the case.
So checking to see is that, and it is. Wow, so it was stayed in bounds. The ball did. Or blocked by the players over here. It's actually going to be a turnover. So Aiden Duncan took off and
we're
got
right,
a yard or two.
We're in the stands. We're right at field level there. So that was right in front of the sidelines.
Yeah, now instead it's going to be Hawken football on offensive end here on the Trinity 21. So Moorhead as they're going to hand it off to Mangini, who worked hard on defense. He's got the ball out on offense, running still on his feet, pushing through, finding his way into the end zone. Ball came out, but the ground caused it. We'll see what they say. They may call him down before he actually reached in. We'll see officially.
It's not a fumble, based on one official.
Looked like the referee, close to us, was saying he was down by the 1 before he reached out.
Yeah, so it's still Hawks ball.
So it's going to be Hawks football.
But
the question is where, and they're going to say it was close.
These fans wanted it all.
Yeah, they're going to say his knee was down just before he outstretched the ball. So Mangini, what an effort run, 20 yards.
Mangini will get the football right back. They're going to give him the football.
Looks like they got Jackson. Yeah, Mangini's actually lining up in the backfield, so there you go. And double A, you may be right here. We'll see what happens. This is 1st and goal from the 1.
Johnson's also back there, too.
Yeah, Johnson in motion, but Mangini he's going to bowl his way through and find his way into the end zone for a touchdown. His 3rd of the ball game, 1st on the ground.
Every member of that offensive line deserves just as much credit. What we have seen, it's been unbelievable, unreal. But Luke Mangini, give him his flowers.
He's got like 45,000 tackles on defense. He's got 3 touchdowns on offense.
When you're that committed as a two-way player, on both sides of the ball, what else can you say, man? What else can you say?
Coach Marino's smiling ear to ear right now because of what Mangini's done today. And going to take a timeout to talk a little more about the extra point. 11:09 to go in the ballgame. Double A, 40-12 is the current score. Hawken on top. So that's back-to-back 40-point games for this offense.
I don't know if there's any Gilmore people in the stands still. I think they all left. They got to worry about Luke Mangini next week. On behalf of this conference, they got to be worried.
I'd say Donovan Moorhead, too, throwing the ball today. He's been fantastic. 10 of 11, 10 completions, 190 yards and 4 scores, throwing the ball.
I think the development of Moorhead and what we've seen from him is really something to be credited.
Yeah.
Absolutely to be credited. You know, for him as...
Well, Jordan Johnson, too, running the ball today. 12 carries, 92 yards on the ground when they've been more throw-centric. Haven't had the ball as much, especially in the second half. But, I mean, it's been just kind of full sail go.
And with Moorhead, real quick, when you're the sophomore quarterback, you have the older veterans, the upperclassmen that's able to carry. You learn how to become a leader right there in that spot.
Javoris, this time the hold's good. The kick is up. This one is good. So the perfect PAT streak stays intact for Javoris. And the score balloons now to 41-12. Hawken Hawks on top again of the Trinity Trojans. Another player down, looking like cramping again.
Yeah.
For the Trinity side.
Baumgartner again, who was down earlier.
We're seeing similar suspects when it comes to those cramping. If it's happened before, it's happening again. Again, I just rival someone to say, hey, let's go get the bananas.
Yeah.
How far away is the furthest convenience store? Let's make a run.
There was a team that said pickle juice.
That works too. I've heard some stories about that.
I've heard some stories about pickle juice. Now, me personally, no.
Not a fan.
But
well, you're not in the Jersey Shore in 2011, so I don't
no,
blame you for
not at
being,
all.
Yeah,
not at all.
Makes sense.
Not at all.
People our age will get that way. I don't know about anybody else. Well, it's 11:09 to go in the ball game here at Walton Stadium. Beautiful Hawken Academy.
Great campus here, by the way.
Beautiful campus.
Came in here, I'm like, where's the stadium?
Of course, it was amazing. It was amazing to get through, but it was worth it.
But it's a really nice campus here.
Yeah. We found the end, and we found a good football game for one side. Obviously, learning experience for Trinity in this game, too. Seeing a lot of great play from Aiden Duncan. First turnover of the game in that last possession is trying to extend that drive.
Yeah, and for I know the game has gotten away. As it's good to see Baumgartner back up, number 55. You know, these kids, they're motivated to play, and there's been a lot of great. It's just been those few plays, the few turnovers, and short field, and the Hawks have taken advantage of every short field opportunity. Every one. I think the Hawks have scored 3 touchdowns, two touchdowns off of turnovers and short field, and the circus touch, pass, fumble, score.
But was still for the offense. We say fumble, we think the defense will score the other way, but no, it was the offense that actually.
So you got to think, 3 touchdowns off of either turnovers or a circus play in there. So, but you can't fault them. They took advantage of every one of those opportunities.
Exactly right. Don't blame them one bit. Again, now Hawks going to kick it off again. Back to Trinity, just trying to find some answers on the offensive end and put together another solid drive and get some more points on the board. That's going to be a low line drive kick. Ball is out. Eventually, it's a scramble for it. Darian Smith tried to jump on it. See if Trinity got it or if the Hawks recovered.
We'll see. They've been kicking his way a good ton here.
And it looks like that's going to stay with Trinity.
We got a player down.
And diving in on that ball. That's where you see some of those issues with cramping and stuff happen, too, when you're overextending in certain plays, a tackle, a lunge for a ball like that when it's loose. I mean, that's where you'll see maybe some of those pulled muscles and cramps as well. But
and remember, too, a lot of these players, we talk two-way players, but really three-way players because you're working offense, defense. You're a majority of the special teams packages, too. So, you get more conditioning at this level than, the Division I team. A lot of Division I, Division II teams, they don't have to have guys play both ways.
Well, you have second, third, sometimes even have fourth stringers that are kind of waiting. You obviously have the JV and the freshmen, too, that are kind of waiting on that. For some of the smaller teams that I talk about and we see play here in the CVC, it's a lot of, you mentioned, kind of doing 2, 3, 4 jobs.
At this level, you have to be more – I'll put the conditioning of all these teams. Whether you're undefeated or winless, I'll put the conditioning of all these teams at this level up against any Division I or II, team. I'll put that up there. Now the Hawks, they're Division III, Region 9. So a few more players out there, a few more than Trinity.
And looking like that was number 11 for the Hawken Hawks there, Kenny Obey, that went down. Seen his name a couple times as well, too, earlier on with some cramping. So
yeah, and he's been in and out a few times. Trinity's next matchup, we've been mentioning Hawken's next matchup. Trinity's next matchup is against a team that Hawken faced last week, and that's Rhodes out of the Senate League in Cleveland.
Yeah. And here's Duncan under center, going to throw it. That ball's deep. It's out there. It is just out of the reach and out of bounds of Lance Hudson. One of the guys Double-A mentioned earlier that Aiden Duncan said things could really break out this year with his ability, and just a little bit outside for Hudson there on the long post route.
Well defended there by Johnson. Man-to-man. Right out there on the island.
And Johnson himself obviously having that big day, 92 yards on the ground, making some plays on the defensive end now too. Surprisingly, that was Aiden Duncan's 30th pass attempt in this ball game. And again, we kind of figured we were going to see maybe more running. Only 11 passes on the Hawken side. Obviously, a lot of yards and a lot of touchdowns for that too. But here's Duncan again, throwing once more. Lob and over the top, just out of the reach of the receiver, DeMonte McKenzie. And we are in that stage of the game now for Trinity where we're trying to make a big play happen with the arm. But again, you go back to that first drive for the Trojans, and it was Duncan with his legs. Just now it seems that Hawkins made that full adjustment to keep him in that pocket like you were talking about.
Yeah, we talked after the first couple drives. You know, you got two guys spying Duncan. Duncan's not, you know, and Duncan is still making plays even when he tries to roll outside, but you're not seeing, you know, him attacking off the perimeter. What he had was 76 rushing yards in the first half, but not much in the second half, and obviously the scoreboard plays a part of that.
It definitely does. 10:57 on that scoreboard to go in this ball game. Duncan again in the shotgun. He'll take the snap, looking left. Duncan going to roll out. He's going to pitch it up again. One of those little pitch and throws. A push pass. And to McKenzie.
It's a football play. That's what he made there, a football play amongst intense pressure. I'll say this, the Trinity offensive line, they've gotten better as this game has progressed. You know, these are the type of games you're facing immense pressure from these very talented skill guys. We've been talking all game long about Mangini.
Yeah.
You know, you learn from games like this.
Duncan, again, is the punter as well, so he's lined back further, but you also have the ability to try and go for something here if you're Trinity. But nope, they'll just get a punt off. It's going to go and tail out of bounds. Somewhere by, I want to say, around the 35 to 40 yard line. We'll see where they officially mark this. This could be coming all the way back, possibly. No, about 35, it looks like. Yeah.
I think the football's in Chesterland now.
Depends on which side of the field we're on, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what, over here, we're in Gates Mills.
Yeah.
If you go over the fence, is that Chesterland?
Someone's going to send us a map.
Maybe.
We're going to figure this out.
Or, I mean, Snapchat says it's Chester, Ohio. This makes no sense.
Interesting.
That's what Snapchat said.
Well, we're not going to listen to Snapchat.
No, not at all. What kind of filters they're using.
It's 10:40 to go in the ball game. 1st and 10 on their own 32-yard line. Hawken with the ball back again after the punt. And a flag on the play. That's in the area of false start. It's just the 3rd penalty of the entire game for Hawken.
Yeah.
Pretty clean game played. No turnovers yet either.
But remember,
Almost.
this is where your coaches, when they want to enforce the penalty numbers, they're going to disregard the fact of the scoreboard. They're going to mention, hey, this is a full 48-minute game.
Yep. Mental is what the coaches will talk about if there's any penalties on that score sheet at the end. As Moorhead sends his man in motion. Handing off inside, big run. Here comes Johnson. He's going to eclipse 100 yards with this carry and more. Down to the 40. Johnson going to go out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
Blocking up front was spectacular. He had the gap open immediately. And Johnson's just incredible just with the second getting that second level. It's been his type of game.
Yep. 37 yards on the scamper for Jordan Johnson. He's now got 129 yards on 13 carries today. Another solid outing. Remember, he had 155 last week.
Mm-hmm. Same offensive line as a year ago.
Yep.
Operated, for Dominic Johnson.
And a carry for, again, Tristan Ruffin-Williams getting his first action in the ball game. Solid run of about roughly 7.
Yeah, I think offensively, that's going to do it offensively for Mangini and and Johnson.
Well, earned some time off here for those guys after spectacular games for both of them now. Seeing some more guys getting some carries here. 2nd and 3, going to be handoff. Here he goes again, big carry. Ruffin Williams. You're going to a backup, but you're not really. There's multiple guys that make plays for this Hawken team, and Ruffin Williams is one of them.
And even he has a different style, just able to
put his head down and go. Yeah.
Move and just watch his hips too, like these last couple plays, being able to operate.
That's going to be a 1st down and 10 from the 16-yard line of Trinity now as Hawken threatening to get on the board again. Moorhead in the shotgun, handoff. Here comes Ruffin Williams again. This time he is caught. That was Darian Smith, the freshman, who's getting some defensive snaps as well, and a solid stop there.
Yeah.
Baumgartner again kind of getting up a little slow, but able to move through and stay on his feet.
Give credit to the great play defensively by Smith. Baumgartner, he could have said, like, hey, I'm done for the game.
Yep.
And he's still out there.
Yep. Just stayed on his feet, walked through it, and he's back out on the line. Getting clock ticking away, 8:45 to go in the ball game. 41-12, and Hawken threatening again. Moore going to pitch out. Ruffin Williams again. Cutting inside, still on his feet, eventually goes out of bounds near the 10. Christopher Roberts for Trinity on the tackle. A solid run there, getting some yards back. Give him about 8.
Definitely a few opportunities here. You start to see a few more of some of the other players coming to the game for the Hawks.
Yep, 3rd and 3 coming up, AA, and Ruffin Williams had a big game last week too. But still 4 carries, 26 yards on this drive and counting. He's the guy right now back there for Moorhead who takes the snap. Ruffin Williams again up the middle. Gonna bounce off a tackle, work his way through, and is down inside the 5 to about the 2 to 3 yard line. 1st down, Hawken.
Yeah, and look, bring him into the football game offensively. Hey, let's make some things happen. Every play has been a positive play. Keep rewarding him the football.
Yeah, Ruffin Williams been able to just put that head down, use those hips, as AA mentioned, and find that open spot, bounce off a few tackles, and get that 1st down for the Hawks, who are now at 1st and goal on the 3 yard line. And Mitch Greenberg.
Yeah, new quarterback.
Quarterback in. Ruffin Williams, he's not new, but he's doing the drive. Touchdown, Hawken. Three yards out. 6 carries on the drive and ends with a score.
Man, that's what you love to see. You love to see that. And, you just get into the football game. For you, this is a 0-0 ball game. This is your opportunity to, get a touchdown in the film. Get that going. Things you want to do. And operate a clean possession, a clean game.
Yep, 47-12, awaiting the extra point attempt here. Snap up, kick up as well, and that is good. The extra point streak staying alive again for Javoris. He knocks that one through. And our score here with 7:49 to go in the ball game, 48-12. The Hawken Hawks, after being up 28-12 not too long ago, have now found a way to put 20 unanswered points on the board and take that commanding lead back.
This offense is about as in sync as you can imagine. And this is one of the best offenses in this entire conference. And, in every way that they can work and operate, they could do so. Last year, 8-3, regional qualifier, looking to build on that this year.
And for Trinity, just looking to build in general. Really, the junior class is kind of the highlight of this team as far as who's been able to make some plays and have some moments here throughout this ball game. Obviously, they still have 5 seniors out there that contribute and make plays too, but really looking at a building block, hopefully, for the rest of the season and for the future for this team, for the Trojans.
Yeah, and you take these next with 7:49 here, and you're evaluated as a coaching staff like, hey, what works? Again, there was a lot of good things that worked in the first half. It just didn't turn out well on the scoreboard, but you see what works, and you build into a game next week against Rhodes, and See what you can do.
Exactly right. Is Dvorak again going to kick this ball off, expecting one of those low line drivers. Keeping, or possibly through the end zone. You never know. We'll see what happens. He can do both. And that will be a low line driver with some roll on it. And that ball touched again, but this time dove on by Darian Smith, the freshman.
Yeah, they're kicking it to the same spot.
And so Trinity will take back over on their own 24-yard line with 7:35 to go in this ball game. Trailing now by 36. Double A, what do you want to see out of the Trojans on this drive, obviously? They put together a long one to start this half that ended in 6 points. But since then, again, the offense hasn't been able to get any rhythm. We've seen a punt. We've seen a fumble to lose a ball as well and lose a possession. I'm assuming, obviously, you want positive plays out of this,
Well,
right?
the drive they had to start the third quarter, which almost took up the entire third quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a sensational drive. And maybe you want to see something like that. You want to see, let's get 4 or 5 yards of pop here.
And Duncan can actually fake out and go back to the right. He's going to stay on his feet. Duncan going to stay in the game and go back to the right side. He's chased down and brought down. For the first time in the game, Zachary Cow on the tackle there.
Mm-hmm. One of those young guys in there getting the action.
A 6-yard gain there for Aiden Duncan, who's eclipsed the 100-yard mark rushing for the day. Also 242 yards in the air.
Yeah.
21 completions, 32 attempts throwing the ball.
They got a good offense going here. I like the system. I like what they have here. This has been a standout performance for this defense.
Very much, as Jackson gets the carry on the right, and he's going to get swallowed up in the backfield. Nathaniel Whithorn.
Excellent read by him. Excellent read.
Yep, normally plays safety, was playing up in the box in that moment, and Nathaniel Whithorn able to bring down Jackson, whose struggles continue running the ball. 12 carries, 17 yards for Jackson. He does have that rushing touchdown and that big 20-yard catch, but as far as yards per carry, he's not been able to get any space in there.
No, and these defenders have made it virtually impossible to do that.
Starts with that front, 4 of that offensive line, the front 3, I should say, staying up there and clogging up those holes. Duncan going to throw. Left side, it's caught. McKenzie with the catch. He's right at the line of scrimmage. Ball came out at the end. And it looks like there was some more jumbling for it, but it looks like I want to say that no official word, but maybe Trinity did fall on it. And it looks like they did. So Trinity going to keep possession here.
I'll tell you what, though. It tells you, well, they might be discussing it. Okay, Trinity still has it. It tells you something, though. You see this defense, every one of those close tackles, they're going for the strip. Not the first time, obviously, we see that. They're going for it. And that's also a lesson as well, on the Trojan side of things. Got to hold on to that football all the way through the whistle.
Duncan going to actually pitch it back out now. Jackson, he's in trouble. He's in the backfield. He's brought down. Big tackle by Hawken. That was 22. Tristan Ruffin-Williams, we saw him make plays, running the ball and getting into the end zone. That time a tackle for a loss.
Yeah, and it's the second. It's every option being taken away. The Hawks have successfully, from drive 2 on, have successfully taken away multiple options. Every one of these run plays.
You talk about the size, too, of these lines. As Trinity is still fairly decent size, but the problem is their heaviest lineman only 255.
Mm-hmm.
The lightest lineman for Hawken is 265. So right there, a 10-pound disadvantage, and obviously we're talking about the lightest person on that line. So the size does matter in this situation. Is Jackson going to get the hand up to the right side, get those yards back?
Oh my.
And that's all he'll do. 14th carry of the ball game, but again, now still stuck on 17 yards for Jackson today.
Whithorn, number 8. Took care of business in a one-on-one, man-to-man situation, got off of that block, was in the play to make. It's these multi-step things. There are so many details that this defense has achieved.
And we'll see if the Trinity offense can try and find an answer. 3rd and 10 from their own 36-yard line. Just under 4 minutes to go in the ball game. Duncan going to throw. Lobbing it up, and it is through the hands. Darian Smith could not get there. Ball was floated up there. A little nerve-wracking, but now 4th and long for Trinity, and down 36 points here.
You're going to watch that film and be like, man, I should have had an interception. You're going to see that.
I wonder if that's maybe the last time we see Aiden Duncan today. If we do, probably a little more active throwing the ball than maybe even he thought.
Yeah, well, yeah, and at this point, you want to keep him safe, too.
Yeah, he's punting, obviously, for this the team here for Trinity because he is the punter, but after that, it's probably kick it away, and we'll figure things out for next week here. As Duncan has it, and he will boot it off. Almost blocked. That's a great bounce for Duncan. It's going to go inside the 25 and hang out there around the 23. Another player down for Trinity by Duncan. And that's Jackson again, who just hasn't been able to just string together a long stretch of not having to worry about that hamstring.
Yeah.
But he's able to walk off now, and for a solid punt from Duncan, it'll be 1st and 10. 3 minutes to go in the ball game for Hawken. And what has been a fantastic game for the home squad is they're going to move to 2-0 AA on the season. And talking about building off a solid year last year, 8-3, making this the state tournament, obviously, having that pedigree, obviously winning the conference they were in last year in the CVC. Obviously different opponents coming out this year for them. Not next week, but after that it's going to be obviously new people for them. But trying to build off 2 fantastic games.
Yeah, and that's what you want to accomplish.
And Greenberg handing off the new quarterback in. Obviously, Donovan Moorhead's day is done.
I was going to say, speaking of bright future, Moorhead, that's going to next week. That's going to be a showcase game.
Yep.
Over at Gilmore, very much a showcase game. We mentioned some of the players, or I'm assuming some of the players. You play last night, come here today.
Yeah, watch the game a little bit, take some stuff in the first half especially, and just kind of watch how the teams kind of come out in the second half too, and then you figure out what's going on. But and that was for Hawken, by the way, Nathaniel Whitthorne. We talked about him obviously making plays on the defensive end. He's now the new tailback in for the Hawks as the clock whittles down now under 2 minutes, and there's a flag. Oh, I got to call a delay game.
Fans here enjoyed that call.
So the fourth penalty flag is a delay of game in the 4th quarter with 1:58 to go, with the score being 48-12.
But you talk about it. We even seen in the NFL level, learning the operations of the offense, and that's part of it.
Yep.
Knowing the clock, and can't snap the ball in time, get called for the penalty.
Yep, and that's going to be on the swing through for a number on that carry for us here. That was possibly 29. That could be Carmine Petitucci with the carry there.
Well, I'll tell you what. These fans here, you had to wait a day, but this is a pretty good football team.
Yep.
Pretty good Hawks football team.
Say pretty much worth the wait at this point for the Hawken fans
very much
here.
worth the wait.
Yep, as they definitely came out in full droves, and so did the team today at 48-12 now. 3rd and long, going to be another handoff. It's time to Whitthorne. He's going to break it back, and he's got room to run. Here we go, Whitthorne. He's off to the races, 50, to the 40, and he'll get hit, and he'll stay in bounds inside the 30-yard line. What a carry by Nathaniel Whitthorne.
Whitthorne just said, do not roll the credits yet. We are not done yet. He is not done.
50-yard run by Nathaniel Whitthorne. And with 30 seconds to go, imagine this may be the last snap here possibly for this this Hawken group here, just trying to avoid a delay game. Maybe take it and kneel down.
Yeah, this looks like victory formation here.
Yep.
If they technically have to run it.
Not sure if they actually have to run the play or not. We'll see what comes through as we tick down to the final seconds here, and that is going to do it. Your final score in the ball game today for CVC TV. The home Hawken Hawks 48. The visiting Trinity Trojans 12. And Hawken, of course, improving to 2-0 on the season. Trinity falling to 1-1. AA first, your thoughts on the home Hawken Hawks? Their performance today in front of the home crowd, solid again, 48 on the scoreboard.
A complete football game and a team that proved that they can make the necessary adjustments. That defensively, we'll talk Luke Mangini here in just a second.
Yep.
Defensively, I thought, again, after the first drive, when they made the decision, hey, let's put a spy or two on Duncan, that changed the complexion of the game. And they were able to take full advantage of opportunities. And the Hawks, whatever they wanted to do offensively, they were able to do and do it in quite dominant fashion, on their end. And there are no words to describe, a ton of these players, but there are no words to describe Luke Mangini, number 30. Offensively, he had a fine night. Defensively, he's an absolute stud from what we saw today. Defensively, I know you have the numbers, Kyle,
yep.
but if you just use the eye test, and just use like how many times he pressured the defense or the offense, how many times he had impact plays. Just incredible. A great, complete win here today for the Hawks.
And Mangini had 3 total touchdowns, 2 receiving, 1 rushing. He had a sack. You had so many tackles, I lost count. They don't make those numbers in Roman numerals anymore because it was that high. Mangini had a fantastic game. Obviously, Donovan Moorhead, too, the sophomore quarterback, 10 of 11, 190 yards, and 4 passing touchdowns for the Hawken Hawks. On the other side, Aiden Duncan, 247 yards through the air, had 107 yards on the ground, and a rushing touchdown for him as well. But just a rough day for the Trinity Trojans. AA, we talk about them a little bit really quick while we wrap this up. Trinity, obviously, a building block game for them as they move kind of forward with their season. What lessons do you take from this game as you kind of get ready for next week?
Well, they played hard today. They did. Look, I like what I saw offensively from Trinity. I want to see like a little bit more of the communication from quarterback to receivers.
Yeah.
They're all great athletes, but I thought there was a few plays that got away from them. Defensively, if you're Trinity, you just got to figure out you had a tough task against the Hawks. Go back on tape. There were a few missed opportunities, kind of settle in and go from there. The big thing with this game was there was, we talked about it. Probably 3 possessions where turnovers led to points. And that cannot happen. You can live with mistakes on the field. You can live with, we just came up short on a few things. But once turnovers are involved, you can see how quickly a game can get away from you. And that's essentially what happened this afternoon.
Up again, the final score from Walton Stadium, 48-12. The Hawken Hawks get the big win. They go to 2-0. Trinity, the Trojans, fall to 1-1. Of course, I want to thank our sponsors again. Presenting sponsor for CVC TV, Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery, Drs. Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Joe Weber, as well as our scoreboard sponsor, Independence Business Supply, the Ohio-owned company operated here in Cleveland, Ohio, capable of shipping supplies anywhere in the United States. Thank you both so much for working with us, and thank you for tuning into the game. That's going to wrap it up for us. We'll catch you guys next week for AA Anthony Alford and the entire crew here. I'm Kyle Cornell signing off from beautiful Gates Mill, Ohio. We'll see you next week here on CVC TV.